Hey there, it's BitB, and welcome out to another BitB stream. Thanks for coming out. It is Saturday, and we are playing a little bit more Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth. So, yes. So I'm sorry about the last stream. I'm going to go ahead and be transparent about this. Apparently the Twitch chat was broken the last time. This explains why nobody was commenting on the new interface. Oopsies. Sorry. I don't know. It's kind of one of those things that I swear to God, it's kind of difficult to be able to tell whether or not it's working or whether it's not. I do tests. I try to make sure that this stuff is functional. And I'm just making excuses. I dropped the ball on that one. But I'm checking it now. I'm making absolutely sure. Thing is, though, I don't even... Not to go on like a tangent about it, but just... It's one of those things that I don't know if it's a case of... Like, you know, is this a one-time thing, or is this something that's been happening a lot, and I just didn't know up until this very exact moment? It could be either or, I'm not sure. I like to think not, because, I mean, I've had several people popping into the chat over the course of me streaming for a very long time here. But, hey, who knows? Whatever, let's just move on from that and play a little bit of Ace Attorney Edgeworth. How about that? So what we did last time is we just introduced ourselves to the game and the mechanics, and we solved a murder that happened in my office. And today, I have no idea what we're doing. Straight up. So let's head back over to here, the DS screen. Oh, and by the way, I've made a change from the last time that we did the stream. And that change is I have actually turned off one of the filters. Because there's a filter that is on natively for the 3DS capture that I got. Well, turns out it looks like when you expand out, like, you know, native DS footage, it looks like it really fuzzes out the words, and you can still read it, but they're kind of, I don't know, they're a little bit crappier to see. I feel like we kind of need them to be a little bit boxy. Actually, it's a combination of the filter, and then also the footage is expanded. So I think the combination of those two things just made like, everything else was looking fairly okay, but the text was not good. So anyways, I'm going to level off the audio. I think we were about here last time. Cool. Let's begin, shall we? Okay, so we did episode 1 the last time. Next up, we're doing Turnabout Airlines. Oopsies. Good start. Here, I'm going to lower this in my own ears. Because, again, I'm on the buds today. I think I recognize that silhouette. The murder that took place in my office. The return of the great thief, Yugatuck, oh god. Thinking back, everything began on that fateful day, 2 days ago. So, 2 days ago. Okay, great. Okay, for a second there I was like, There's a murder afoot. No, it's just wine, never mind. What went down? Oh my god. I think I know what this is talking about. Yes, everything began high up in the air, oh my god, will you allow me to read the damn thing? Thank you for flying iFly. We are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. We're asking all passengers to please return to their seats and fasten their seatbelts. Thank you, sir. This is a very fancy plane, my god. Whack. I guess in theory this will be a murder most foul, but we'll see. Let's see. Oh, okay. I'm on the floor. Good. Yeah. The text does come out a little bit better, because it was a little bit blotchy when I had it before. Here, just to give you an idea of what I was talking about, let me turn on the filter now. I mean, it looks okay, but it does look really, really fuzzy, especially when you're looking at this at full screen. So, yeah, I think we're going to go no filter for this entire thing. There. March 12th, 6:13 a.m. Flight I-390, first floor lounge. This is a very fancy... I would love to be in an airplane like this someday, but Boy, chances slim. Oh dear, I hit the bottle too hard again. Why do I feel like I just woke up from a horrible nightmare? 6:13, huh? Guess I was out cold for about 10 minutes. Slight turbulence indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. For your safety, we ask that you return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts.
I suppose turbulence is to be expected on a flight. Though, admittedly, I'm less than comfortable with anything resembling earthquakes. Oh my god. Dude, somebody that can't handle earthquakes, what about if all of the world is, like, thousands and thousands of feet below your feet? That could be bad. What? Is that a hand? It kind of looked like it made the sound of what I imagine the sound of a, like, cut-off hand would be. Oh, what's this? A travel wallet? But it's not mine. How did someone else's travel wallet wind up in my pocket? Ugh, my head. Why won't this headache go away? I'll take care of this travel wallet later. Or hand it off to an attendant. From earthquake-like turbulence to an elevator. What am I doing hesitating like this? Actually, I know full well why I hesitate. It was when I was still but a young child. At this scene again. I was caught up in a murder that happened in an elevator. But how long am I going to let my past haunt me? It's just an elevator. I'm a grown man now. I need to behave like one. I wonder how much counseling he's been through. Oh, yay. Yep. More trauma in elevators. What in the world happened?
Is there something wrong, sir? I must ask that you please return to your seat. Eek! He's dead!
Please, calm down. We mustn't jump to conclusions with all the facts.
Well, what's wrong? Did something happen?
You murder... Oh. No! You have it all wrong! It wasn't me! Oh, dears. Yeah, I feel like all these are gonna tie right back to me for some stupid-ass reason. March 12th, 6:41 a.m., Flight I-390, second floor, first class.
Everyone, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have an important announcement. I am one of your flight attendants today, Rhoda Tenario. Unfortunately, we have just had a minor accident on this flight.
Minor. Just a minor case of death.
An accident? Don't treat us like we're stupid. I caught a glimpse and it was a murder.
What? Murder? Well, what's going on with this flight?
Everyone, please calm down. There's no reason to panic. This flight will stay on course and make its scheduled landing. We are still currently in the middle of a rough patch of turbulence, so until we're out of this area of turbulence, I ask that you please remain seated.
But someone was killed, right? I mean, what about the killer? Let me off!
Please, there's no need to feel threatened. We have already apprehended the culprit.
Thank you. Phooey. I ask that everyone please remain calm. What the heck is he talking about? Why should we remain calm? My name is Miles Edgeworth. I'm a prosecutor, and I assure you I am not the killer.
Ha! Being a prosecutor doesn't make you incapable of murder, buddy.
Got me there. One's about to kill someone in 2 days. Now you listen here, I am not the killer. I simply found the body. Tell that to the judge. Nope, guilty.
So you say, however, I am sure that you are the perpetrator of this crime. I swear on my honor as a professional flight attendant.
Oh, is that right?
I know what I saw, and there's even very strong incriminating evidence to back me up.
What? Did you find an ascot? Or whatever the hell it's on, like the ruffles that I got? What kind of incriminating evidence is she talking about?
We've already alerted the proper authorities at our destination. Until we land, you will remain in our custody by the powers vested in our captain. I'm very sorry, but please understand our situation.
Your situation? I'm more concerned with mine and the direction it's going. I'm not about to just sit idle by and get accused of murder. Miss Teniro, is it?
Yes?
I was wondering if you might give me a chance. A chance to do what? Murder again. A chance to plead my case. And a chance to ask what you meant by incriminating evidence just now. To accuse a passenger of such a grave crime without allowing him to give a proper defense. Can the professional flight attendant inside you really call this action righteous? Haha, psychological games.
You have a point. Very well, I'll listen to what you have to say. But be wary of what you reveal. I'm afraid you'll only look even more suspicious if your explanation fails to satisfy. I also do not have the time to deal with you all day, so please make it quick.
Our trials go on for 10 years. I don't think this is going to be quick. Of course, as you wish.
Good. Very well, then. Let's get started.
I know for a fact that I didn't kill that man in the elevator. It could have been like a stress and psychotic hallucinated dream that you didn't do it. And then it turns out just like... I don't freaking know. I don't know how psychology works. I don't know if you can go into a blind rage and kill somebody and not know it. But I know... what I don't know is what sort of evidence she has up her sleeve. But I'm certain it doesn't fit with how the crime really occurred. Sup?
I swear to tell the whole truth as a professional flight attendant. Unfortunately for you, Mr. Edgeworth, I am certain you are the killer. The scene I saw in front of the elevator, it was you, standing there with fresh blood dripping off of the murder weapon. So if you would please cooperate, we'll turn you over just as soon as we land.
Well, okay. Well, murder weapon was the wallet? I don't see that being... How do you kill somebody with a wallet? I'm sure this game will figure it out. That's it? That's her evidence?
I don't think you could ask for a more perfect witness testimony. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth?
I've seen worse. Not really. It's hardly perfect when there's a gaping hole in it. Rebuttal. Alright, whole truth. This isn't going to turn up anything, but screw it. Tell me, what exactly puts the pro in professional flight attendant for you?
Well, it means we are very professional about how we take care of our passengers. Services like fetching papers and responding to calls are done with speed and accuracy. I can assure you that I give testimonies with the same level of professionalism.
I just noticed she has sort of a... basically like the kitty lip sort of thing. I know it's not, but it's just like her gigantic lipstick and lips make it look like that. At least in this picture.
But I'm sure you have already realized that by now, right?
It's a bit hard to appreciate your professionalism when I'm the one under suspicion.
And there you have it. My professional testimony is accurate and reliable.
Boo.
Unfortunately for you, Mr. Edgeworth, I am certain you are the killer.
You certainly seem sure of yourself. Profound accuracy.
Of course, a professional flight attendant can't afford to make mistakes after all.
Perhaps, but you must admit there are a few who can look at a murder with a clear mind.
We attendants go through extensive training and we are always calm and collected.
Extensive... I don't know if flight attendants are trained in just somebody dying on the plane. Is that the case? I would love to hear about that if there is actually scenarios that you are put through. I know there are drills involved with, okay, what if the plane is going to crash or anything like that, but to straight up have a murder happen on a plane, I want to know if there's anything in a handbook that says anything about that.
We'll even calmly serve you coffee if you so wish, as the plane makes a splashdown.
Oh my god. Did you see that? She's got a little twitch going on. I think she hates her job and she doesn't want to say anything. I fail to see how that would be the calm and rational thing to do in an emergency.
Even until the bitter end, we are there to serve the passengers. That is the duty of all professional flight attendants.
You certainly are confident. Anyway, shall we return to your testimony?
Scene I saw in front of the elevator.
What did you see? Yes, what did you see in front of the elevator?
That's what I was just about to tell you, Mr. Edgeworth. Framed by the elevator doors and bathed in the light coming from within, it was you, standing there with fresh blood dripping off the murder weapon.
The murder weapon dripping with blood? Really? How? Like, really now, rather.
I swear that with the grisly scene I saw before me. Thank goodness it wasn't the passenger who saw her. They'd be widespread panic by now.
As I recall, you were quite panicked yourself at the time. Yes, yes. May I redo the scream? No.
Excuse me?
You were scared enough to misread the situation and accuse me of murder.
Nonsense! Professional flight attendants cannot afford to be that flustered. I witnessed the murder scene and I am now listening to your defense, all with a smile.
Apparently you also lie with a smile on your face. I feel like this is probably it, but we need to take a look at the evidence we currently have. Picked up off the floor in front of the elevator. It isn't mine, so whose is it? Body found at 6:15 a.m. inside the elevator. Stopped at the first floor lounge. Details, meals, movies, and other services inside. Oh, neat. Well, let's read the pamphlet. Weird. All times shown correspond to our departure times. Oh my god. Oh, is this going to get complicated? And, like, we're going to be factoring in time zones and people's watches, and Jesus Christ. I'm not good at that. I'm sure that's exactly what that thing is representing. Alright, so let me take a look at this again. Alright, nothing about time in here, so it can't be the magazine. Fresh blood dripping. I guess I could probably present the travel wallet, because really, it's a travel wallet. How is this thing supposed to kill anybody? Yep. Mr. Nero?
What is it with you yelling all of a sudden?
Force of habit. Well, it doesn't matter. Mr. Nero, you say you saw the murder weapon dripping with blood, is that correct?
Yes, all that blood. Drip, drip, drip. Just recalling that scene sends a chill down my spine.
Sorry, but your so-called professional flight attendant training has failed you.
What?
I'd like to direct your attention to this. Do you know what this is?
Yeah, it's a travel wallet, right? But it looks a little big and bulky.
The thing you saw me holding when I discovered the dead body in the elevator was this very travel wallet, Mr. Nero.
What? Impossible!
Now then, do you still think I am the killer? That I killed him with a travel wallet?
But I saw blood dripping from the wallet. I know I did.
As you can see, this wallet is clearly stained, but if you'd be so kind as to take a whiff, I think you'd agree it's only grape juice. Yes, simple, legal grape juice that doesn't need to be labeled or registered as alcohol on an ESRB rating.
Then...
That's right. You mistook grape juice for blood. The murder weapon dripping with blood does not, in fact, exist.
No!
There. That should clear up that pesky accusation.
No. Wait just a sec. That is... I mean, even a wallet could be deadly if it was wrapped around something heavy. I demand that you show me what's inside, please.
She's trembling, and the tacked on please at the end. Sounds like I've got her. There's no need to look inside. Even you can tell from its appearance that it's light.
No, I can't be sure of anything until I see the contents of the wallet for myself.
She's a persistent one. I suppose we have no choice but to see what's inside. Mr. Nero, if you would be so kind as to open the wallet and check the contents for me.
All right, I usually don't pry into passengers' belongings, but we have no choice here.
She's gonna find like a knife or something, right? That's my guess. Grape juice stains the outer cover. True, it was I who dropped it in the juice, however, I didn't do it out of ill intentions. Anything else to do with this thing? Here. Not really. I guess we could... Might as well just open the damn thing. It seems that the passport is all that's in here. But whose passport is it? As you saw, there is nothing but a passport inside. This renders your wallet was the murder weapon argument moot. Wouldn't you agree?
But there's another murder weapon, or I don't freaking know. Please hear me out, Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh, what is it now?
Well, I was wondering, whose passport is it exactly?
So was I.
Can I take a look?
Why not? I'm rather curious It's the guy that's murdered, isn't it? Yep. This is... Let me see. Hicks, Ackby... Borginia! What the ever-loving hell?
This travel wallet belonged to Mr. Ackby Hicks, which makes it the victim's property.
Then how did I get the wallet? Jesus.
You stole the victim's wallet, didn't you?
How dare you!
You said it yourself. You claimed to be holding this wallet in your hands when I found you. Perhaps I did misconstrue the wallet for the murder weapon, but it seems that I wasn't wrong about who the culprit is.
Oh, really?
As you claim, the murder weapon is not the travel wallet. However, it is something you stole from Mr. Hicks after you were done with the vile deed. I find it hard to believe myself, but your motive was very simple. You were out to steal Mr. Hicks' money, weren't you?
He's a top prosecutor, ma'am, and also he is paid like 5 times more than Phoenix, right? He doesn't need money. So, even though I didn't have the murder weapon on me, you still suspect me, I see?
You stood up at the crime scene with your victim's wallet in your hands.
With the victim's wallet, rather.
How can I turn a blind eye and not suspect you of foul play?
Not... Okay, fine.
As you claim, the murder weapon is not the travel wallet.
Sure. Shouldn't that be proof enough for you that I did not murder the victim?
Not at all.
Oh, and why not?
Because that wallet may not have been what I thought it was. However, it is something you stole from Mr. Hicks after you were done with the vile deed.
You think I stole it?
Yes, I'm very sorry to say it, and I wouldn't usually be so rude, but it must be said. I never thought I'd see the day, but here I am calling a passenger a thief.
You know, technically speaking, that's not nearly as horrible of a charge as murder, so... Can you chill the hell out?
Maybe I should put on a serious face and say it more directly. I believe you removed the wallet from the victim's personage.
It really doesn't matter how you phrase it. What I'd like to know is why you think I stole Mr. Hicks' wallet.
I find it hard to believe myself, but your motive was very simple.
I don't think I have any sort of motive to speak of. I've never met Mr. Hicks before, and our only connection is the one flight.
But that is more than enough of a reason.
How do you figure?
He was sitting in first class, and I think the implication is quite clear. You were out to steal Mr. Hicks' money. Okay. How was I not in first class? I'm pretty sure that I was probably there right alongside him. So what's the point? Why would I steal from him?
You think I was after his money? Where did that cockamamie idea come from?
True, you're also a passenger in first class. Yeah. I thought something was off about you and those deeply etched lines on your forehead.
You haven't met this one person. Hold on a second. They're not lines. They're perfectly normal and a part of my natural face.
I don't think I've ever met someone with such terrible countenance on a flight before. And that's when it hit me. You have the face of someone with money. Try.
Once again, sit in court one day. You'll understand. She really is making a fool of herself, pursuing this line of logic. I should spare her and present this piece of evidence that contradicts her testimony. I love how the game is sort of hinting at the idea that, despite the fact that maybe the player doesn't know, Edgeworth is just, he's on it, all over it. And even if he screws it up, it's just like, oh no, I meant to do that. Oh my god. I mean, there is no money in the damn thing, but I guess you could say that I have the money. Body found at 6:15 a.m. inside the elevator, stopped at the first floor lounge. I guess I could check this. Oh, interesting. Wait. There's money and credit cards and all this shit lying on the floor. If I was out for money, why wouldn't I have grabbed that money? So, give me a second. You were out to steal Mr. Hicks' money, weren't you? Explain the cash on the floor. I wonder if I might get a word in, Miss De Niro. What is it now? Miss De Niro, I wonder if you noticed the contradiction within your own testimony. What are you talking about? It's simply impossible that the motive for the murder was monetary theft. One glance at the crime scene should have told you that. What about the scene would prove that the Furpity herp? I don't know. There's money all over the freaking floor. If I may direct your attention to the things strewn all over the floor. That's right. The floor is covered in bills and coinage. By your rationale, these were the very things the killer was after. Yeah. I think we can assume that the wallet fell during the victim's struggle with his killer. And I would think the killer would have noticed something like money scattering everywhere. Furthermore, as you can see, there was no effort made by the killer to gather their money. But the wallet... Oh, yes, the wallet. You will also recall that the only thing in it was Mr. Hicks' passport. If you're really insisting that it was a crime based on greed, then you're claiming that it was all for an empty travel wallet. Forgive me! Please! Now I think we're done. Hey, what the heck? Are you saying the attendant's wrong? So that guy isn't the killer? Don't believe it. Everyone, it's a trick! Credibility is dead. Will you all please be quiet? Miss De Niro. Yes. You lost your cool when you saw the dead body. Plus, the lounge was dark, and looking into the light from the elevator, it's easy to see how you mistook the wallet in my hand for the murder weapon. I take no offense that you thought that I was the killer. Mr. Edgeworth? Thank you for releasing me. Oh my, what? Oh, Borginian! What is it now? Mr. Nero, if you could please translate, I'd be much obliged. It sounds like Borginian, but
I don't understand any of it. There's another attendant on the flight who...
Oh my god. I said that he's giving the runabout. There. I don't require an interpreter. I speak English just well, see? You, the attendant?
Yes, sir.
I want this person to be under the arrest until we arrive at the airport. Well, good for you, Assat. Oh, what a very shiny trophy you have. I'm sorry, sir, but what exactly are you hoping for? What is it you want? I am finished talking to the likes of you. Please, I would like to hear why you would like me to be held under arrest until we land. You! How dare you try to waste my time? You were the one who stuck your nose into my affairs. I wanted to spend even at least one more second with my precious art. I have no time for other things. I know what you are. I see through you. Insolvent. Yes, I am pretty sure that's how you say it in English. Well, I'd hope that I don't dissolve in water, but I don't think that's what you meant. Insolent, was it? I don't know. I'm sorry, but I don't think I caught your name. I am Zig LeBlanc II. I am a very wealthy man in Virginia. In the Virginia. But I am not an ordinary rich man. I am an art dealer, a rich seller of beauty.
Mr. LeBlanc, what did you mean just now?
Pardon?
When you said that Mr. Edgeworth was giving me the runabout...
I have to explain? Unbelievable. I will say it once and only once. I do not have even a second to waste. Time is money, as they say. Yes, and yet you continue to blather on. I saw it, yes I did. I saw the victim go on to the elevator, going down to the lounge. It was exactly at 6 o'clock. And what's the significance of that time? At 6, he says. Wait, you saw him at 6?
What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth?
He understands, I see. Miss Attendant, what time did you discover the body?
Well, it was a little after that patch of turbulence, so I would say around 6:15.
Hicks was his name, was it? Then I say that man Hicks was killed in the 15-minute time span. And the only person in the lounge at that time was this prosecutor, yes? You bastard. Yeah, I was in my seat the whole time. Yeah, me too. I was watching the movie and enjoying a fine glass of grape juice. My god, look at how much grape juice that dude has. I just noticed that. Jesus. I was still eating. I haven't finished, see? The other passengers have an alibi, so you have no problem with them, I suppose. No complaint, I see. Not a single word against this, right? I have no way of discounting what you have put forth at this point, but it wasn't me. Oh, so you say. But do you have what you say, the evidence?
Mr. Edgeworth, are you really the culprit after all?
Mr. LeBlanc, I suppose you are quite certain in what you saw, enough to give testimony? That is how we break everything in this game. Of course, I was looking at that man the whole time. He was playing with that annoying little small machine the whole time. Machine. Yes, that's what you call it in English, yes. It was making me crazy with the click, 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 click. From that description, it sounds like some sort of small computer. Was he using a calculator or a phone? I don't know. In this game's time frame, phones are kind of archaic, so I don't know if he would have had an iPhone.
I believe what Mr. LeBlanc is talking about is a cell phone. I have to say that I did see him playing with it quite a bit myself.
A simple cell phone? A laptop or organizer I can see, but that's kind of Low budget. Not in this time period. I hate that noisy little machine in his hand. Not a fragment of beauty. All it produces is ugly sounds. Anyway, I know what I saw. Miss Tenero.
Yes?
I was wondering if I might be granted permission to examine the crime scene.
What? You want to examine the crime scene?
If you would grant me a little measure of time, I'm sure I can produce the real culprit. I don't like the sound of that. Fox in the duck pen. Yes, I think that's how you say it in English. It's Fox guarding the hen house, and I believe my innocence was proven earlier. And if I'm given the chance, I can clear up all the remaining doubts. Mr. Nero, if you wait until we arrive, there's a good chance that some evidence will have been destroyed by then.
I understand. Let me see what the captain has to say.
This should not be approved.
Please, Mr. LeBlanc, in an emergency, all decisions are to be made by the captain alone. Now, please, wait here while I go ask the captain what to do. I'll be right back.
Oh boy, I hope this captain is lenient. You are not planning to erase evidence when you are doing your investigation, yes? Of course not. We'll see.
Mr. Edgeworth, you have the captain's permission to investigate the crime scene.
What? Unbelievable!
I'm in your debt, Miss De Niro. However, there is one condition. I am to supervise you. Can you agree to that?
No, of course. I see no problem with that stipulation. It's only natural, as I am still a suspect in this case.
I take full responsibility and will watch Mr. Edgeworth's every move. I hope this is reassurance enough that there will be no foul play. And now then, Mr. Edgeworth, shall we proceed? If you should need my help with anything, please feel free to touch the partner button.
It's time to head to the scene of the crime, the first floor lounge. Yay. I have a replacement female gumshoe. Anyways, let's take a look around. Hi. Yeah, excuse me, but may I have a word with you? Oh boy. Yeah, it looks like she is burning double shifts. You there? If you need something, please ask Miss Rhoda over there, okay? What the? Hey, wake up, you!
I'm terribly sorry that she's being so rude, Miss Edgeworth.
Oh, rather. Sorry, that wrong freaking accent. No need for you to apologize. I just find it hard to believe she's asleep on the job. If I were her boss, I'd see to it that her salary was cut so low that it was in the red. We know that's the case.
How did you find your meal to be, Mr. Edgeworth?
Come to think of it, I forgot all about it. I must have been asleep or something.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Let me prepare you something right away.
What are you apologizing for, Mr. Nero?
I failed in my professional duties by letting a passenger go hungry. Please help yourself. If you see anything you fancy, feel free.
I think I'll take my time later, after I solve this case. Thanks. Yes. No time for food or eats. Get the impression that I shouldn't be touching any of his stuff. But screw it. Mr. LeBlanc seems to be protecting the gargantuan vase on the chair rather closely.
It is a marvelous vase, though, isn't it? Yes, I dare say it's as a professional... I say so as a professional attendant, my god.
I don't think there's any real connection between a piece of art and being an attendant.
But I'm not just any old attendant. I'm a professional flight attendant.
As though there was such a thing as an amateur flight attendant. I don't know. I think you would call that the A-team. Well, actually, no. They actually know how to fly planes. Just they're reckless as all hell. I don't know. I can't think about the A-Team anymore without thinking about the remake, though. The one with the tank falling scene. And I think that was the one part of that movie that was actually... So, I don't know. I didn't see it, but I didn't have any drive to be able to... I didn't really want to watch the rest of it, because... I know Mr. T and the gang are old, but it's just not the same. I ain't getting on no plane. It's a movie poster for License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder.
That's an iFly Airlines sponsored movie. It's a suspense, hard-boiled action, romantic horror comedy movie.
Is that the genre listing for this movie?
Yes, it's a movie that can be enjoyed by anyone because it encompasses all those genres.
I can't even begin to imagine what the plot of this movie would be like.
But you have to admit, it has piqued your curiosity, right? I heard the main strategy with the genre listing was to make people curious.
Well, then consider the mission a successful one. Oh, well. Guess I need to go down to the... Actually, alright, so it's either go down to the cinemas or watch a movie on the plane. This was Mr. Hicks' seat. I don't see the machine Mr. LeBlanc was talking about.
Perhaps it's in the elevator?
Maybe. We should probably head down to the crime scene now.
I'm taking a look around, and I'm enjoying myself.
What's this? It's my seat. Unfortunately, I didn't bring anything particularly useful for an investigation. It's not as if I'm constantly prepared for such a thing to occur. And yet, very resourceful. Okay, this guy is as paranoid as all hell.
Don't get near me, you criminal! He said, don't get near me, you I heard him.
I'm not the killer, and I intend to prove this starting now.
But that's contrary to the facts. He said, but that's contrary to the facts.
I can understand his English just fine. Thank you very much. Let's see, hey, I can talk. The life preserver I can look at. What's a lifesaver doing here?
I'm on it in the flight shop just beyond the lounge. If something should happen, having one will save your life.
I think this guy would have been better off not taking a plane to begin with. Road trip, man. Although I feel like this guy, even if he were going on a road trip, he would just be like, oh god, all right, pillows. We need to make sure everybody in the car is just squished in and if we do get in an accident, it's going to be a fluffy one. And then there's Porkins over here. If I may have a word with you.
Miss steak so awesome.
That's great to hear. However, I would like to ask you a few questions.
I was here all time, so wouldn't know.
Eat or speak. Please pick one.
Munch. I think he chose to eat.
Yes, I can hear that.
And, dear God. Hey, miss, how about another glass?
Excuse me, but I was wondering if you knew anything about the murder.
How about it? How about a glass together?
Sorry, but I must decline.
I wasn't talking to you, I was asking to the queue attendant. I'm sorry, but I'm on the clock right now. But if you need a refill, I'll be happy to bring you another glass at any time. You got it, Toots.
That's no way to talk to a lady.
God. I don't know too many people that would be absolutely allowed to have this much frickin' booze. Has he taken samples from every single bottle? Jesus. Wow, short plane. But very fancy plane. March 12th, 7:26 a.m. Flight I-390, first floor lounge. Very well.
I want to thank you for your help back there, Mr. Nero.
It was nothing. You should thank the captain for granting you permission. And just so everything is perfectly clear, I still don't trust you to that extent. I don't want you to think your standing with me has changed.
I see. I will bear that in mind.
I received an order from the captain earlier. He wanted you to know that we reserve the right to stop your investigation if we feel you are not making progress. And when we do, he asks that you please return to your seat at that time.
So my time runs out as his and his crew's discretion, does it? I have to find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's testimony before time's up. I understand. By the way, is there any place you can think of where the killer might have hid on might hide on board. God, motherfucker. English is not my forte today, apparently.
I don't think so. After every first-class passenger was accounted for at his or her seat, we made a thorough search of the plane. As for business and economy class, no one can move between those two classes and first class without a staffed key card. And we found no record of the key card being used at all.
Which means that I have a first-class killer on my hands. At least I know that much for sure. I mean, I think we already know who it is. And one other thing. No one else has been allowed near the crime scene since this murder was discovered earlier. Neat! So do I have an actual time limit or not at all? Now then, let's get started.
But where should we start from?
Let's start with Mr. LeBlanc's statement. The crime occurred between 6 a.m. and 6:15 a.m. During that interval, the only person in the lounge was myself, which would make me the prime suspect. However, since I did not kill Mr. Hicks, it means that the killer was around somewhere. I think this is a case of somebody sent the corpse down the elevator, and I just conveniently showed up at my floor. Well, you know, they stuffed it at the elevator, and when I decided to use it. Ta-da!
If we are to believe what you say is true, then yes.
The first order of business will be to gather information to win your trust. Very well. I wonder if I can look at other things around here first. These counter windows offer a glimpse of the sky, but these clouds, they tell me nothing.
Mr. Edgeworth, you look like you're talking to the clouds.
Is that so? Then tell me. What do you suppose I said to them?
I don't know, but it looked like a rather one-sided conversation.
The clouds, they tell me nothing. And then I assume all this is probably just the clouds. What's happening here? These bottles and glasses must have been broken by the turbulence. There's quite a bit of broken glass here. Please be careful when passing through the area.
Thank you very much for the warning, Mr. Edgeworth. However, no matter how kind you are towards me, know that it does not clear up any suspicions I have about you. I'll sit your ass down.
I wasn't warning you for the sake of clearing my name. How dare you? This door leads to the flight attendant's room.
But please understand that it's off limits to unauthorized personnel.
The room is giving off the scent of women's perfume. One would think the perfume would smell great, however. To me, it simply smells. Not that I have any interest in what lies behind this door.
Perhaps we should return to the investigation, Mr. Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth? Sorry, I spaced out there for a second. Funny enough, oh god. Yeah, there's some women's, there's one particular smell for women's perfume. I've never been able to identify it, but it smells like shit. And I never understand why anybody would have it. It smells like just a giant vat of chemicals rubbed directly on your pores. I don't know. I seem to remember that one of my old like music teachers used to use it a lot, and I'm just like, oh god, your room smells like hell.
This grand piano is the pride of this plane. It can play the music of whatever CD we insert into its CD drive.
That's not a piano, it's more like an overgrown music box.
But its keys depress along with the music as though it really is playing something.
Some people have entirely too much money to waste on overly complex toys. But it's a fancy toy. This topple-over chair. Yet another victim of the turbulence.
No! Look at that grape juice staining the back! It may not look it, but this chair was extremely valuable.
It was?
Yes, it was used when the Rocker Pals came to tour this plane. The Rocker Pals leader sat in this very chair.
I'm sorry, but what are these Rocker Pals? I can't believe you've never... Oh wait, I can't believe you've never heard of them.
They're all the rage. The Rocker Pals are an extremely popular international band. They added the pals part as they became more popular, especially among teens.
Ah, that explains it. I'm not really one for the music of today. Maybe I should ask Detective Gumshoe about that later. On second thought, I can already see how confusing that conversation would get. Let's see, let me have some candelabras. Glasses and candles thrown into disarray by the turbulence.
It's been a while since I've seen it this big of a mess. It's terribly embarrassing, but I thought it was an earthquake for a second. And I frantically started searching for gas valves to shut off.
I guess the shaking of the plane was bad enough to be mistaken for a real earthquake. Not that I would know, since I was unconscious for most of it. How convenient. So we got this stuff.
The in-flight shop is just beyond these shutters. But we don't have permission to open them, so I'm afraid I must leave them closed.
There must still be clues to be found in this lounge. I must remain ever vigilant. Well, then there's the red stain. There's some spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. I assume it was spilled during the turbulence.
Oh, we must clean that up or someone might get hurt.
Aha!
Oh, what is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I found some very important evidence. Ooh. What is important? What is the important piece of evidence in the scene? I would say the footprints.
What is it?
They're a little smudged, but I think we can both agree they are a set of footprints.
So you think...
Yes, these belong to our killer.
Oh, then maybe we should check the shoe size of everyone in first class.
I don't think that will be of any help to us. Unfortunately, the prints are too smudged, which will make it hard to get a definitive match.
Oh, I see. Good thought. I don't know. Maybe is it like is it a size 15 and it's like way off what everybody else would be?
All right. So just note that those are there. Oh, thought I saw some graphic glitch. All right, crime scene officially. What floors does this elevator service?
Only the first and second, although it can also go down to the cargo hold. However, that requires a flight crew keycard.
So the only floors accessible to passengers are the first and second, huh?
Gotcha. Everything's lining up.
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny here. All right. I guess I'll take a look at the money. Why not? Money is strewn all over the floor of the elevator. I would guess it was all in Mr. Hicks' wallet at some point. What is the ever-loving hell is this? Oh, who's this sinister-looking figure on the floor here?
Oh, this is a piggy bank of our company mascot, Mr. Ifly.
iFly, goddammit. Mr. iFly.
It's just one of the many pieces of merchandise we sell at our in-flight shop. This bank is a limited edition and is so popular that we're down to our last one.
You have an in-flight... I was literally just there.
Yes, it's just beyond the lounge to the right. The shutter to the store is closed at this moment, but it was open the whole flight up until Mr. Hicks' body was discovered.
There's blood on here. Could this have been the murder weapon?
Does it also count as a clock?
That would be great. I doubt anyone was expecting to find a dead body in an elevator on this flight.
So, Mr. Hicks, he's really dead?
Yes! He's been stiff as a doornail. Or, no, stiff as a... I was going to say doorknob, but I'm just like, no. Stiff as doornail. For the longest period of time. Yes. She's trembling. Although I can't fault her for that when there's a corpse right there.
Mr. Hicks, if you're really dead, then please answer yes.
I see she's over the trembling now, although a new symptom seems to have appeared. Anyway, I should focus on the victim's body. Let's see. There's blood on the back of Mr. Hicks' head. Could this be the cause of death? He appears to have been struck very hard. Even his glasses are broken. So maybe he ran right into the wall somewhere. What about this tag thing? I wonder what was hanging off of this lanyard. Something's missing from this picture. Now, if I could just put my finger on it. Well, there's more money on the floor, but that's not anything. Okay, what about in his pocket? Anything in his pocket? There's something sticking out of his pocket. Hope you won't mind if I take a look at what's inside. It's a picture. It looks like it was taken inside a building somewhere. Very pretty. What is happening inside this? It looks like... Oh, hey. That actually looks like some kind of an art museum of some kind. Starting to get an impression about this. And also, there's what was hanging over... You can see the red tag that's what was hanging there. Neat. All right. Let me think. Anything else suspicious? Maybe I could look at his head. Elevator on the flight. He's really dead. I've already seen all this. I think that'll just about do it for that. Nothing to do with those buttons. Nothing to do with... pad. So I have a deduce here. Very interesting. I could deduce... let me try logic real quick. Let me take a look at what I have as logic. I have a lot of logic to work with. Alright. Where was the killer? The victim's body was found inside the elevator that connects... the first floor with the second floor. Murder weapon? Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Wound on the back of Hicks' head suggests blunt force trauma, but what caused it? I would say what caused it was the murder weapon, Mr. Eyefly. Done. A statue with blood on it lying next to the body of a man who was beaten to death.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I think I figured something out.
Yes, what is it?
The way the blood is on it, it looks like it matches up with the wound on his head.
Well, aren't we deserving of the Master of the Obvious title? Jesus.
Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Do you think that's worth investigating?
It would appear that this figurine is our murder weapon.
Oh, I just knew it. I mean, I can't think of any other connection.
Perhaps Master of the Obvious would be more befitting. Oblivious should be more befitting, eh? So wait, can I actually take a look at that now? Well, first off, let's see if we can connect any more thoughts. There's some spilled grape juice on the floor in front of the elevator. The victim's glasses are broken. Were they broke during the murder? Where was the killer? The victim's body was found inside the elevator that connects first floor with the second floor. I mean, that would basically determine the fact that, yeah, the killer was at least somewhere, at least on floor 1 or floor 2, likely on floor 2. So I kind of want to say these two connect. Ooh, I think I got it. True, there wasn't anyone else in the lounge other than myself right before the turbulence. But if the killer was in the elevator along with the victim, then that's a different story. Bingo bango. Alright. If only I could prove that the killer rode the elevator with Hicks. Not really. I don't think so. Well, that's... Alright. And then we have broken glasses. That doesn't really prove it. I feel like this has to be like question and then answer. Both of these don't really answer the question that's sitting in here. So with that knowledge, let me take a look at here. Organizer said about checking the statue, so let us do that. It says iFly Airlines. You know, I've seen it occur a lot recently, and it's been bothering me greatly. But why does nobody know how to properly capitalize and space nouns anymore? Alright. That's just the surface of it. Let's... Ooh, there's the coin slot. I suppose this is where you insert your coins. I have to say, for a piggy bank, it's made rather well. So well, in fact, that I'm not sure there's a way to take your money out. Well... Oh, hey, there's the blunt area. How do you take the money out of this thing? You straight up need a hammer in order to get through this thing. Alright, fine. Blood spot. There's some blood on one of the corners. Could this piggy bank be the murder weapon? So it looks like the piggy bank was wielded like a hammer from the bear's head, and the corner was brought right down onto a skull. But that appears to be all I can do in this. Okay, what other items have I got now? Well, I got the photo of Hicks, but I can't really deduce anything with that. And then crime scene notes. Still got some more stuff that I could be doing.
Are you in need of assistance?
Let's ask some stuff. Mr. Nero, I'd like to ask you about investigating the lounge.
As long as you have the captain's permission, I can't stop you from looking around.
If you could pass a message along, tell him I'm grateful for his spirit of cooperation.
I will, however, please realize that you are still under suspicion. To be honest, I still have my doubts about you.
Of course, and I take no offense.
Do you really understand what I'm saying?
Yes, verily.
Do you pinky swear you do?
Or on your honor as a professional prosecutor? Pinky swear I do, on my honor as a professional prosecutor. Well, I guess that settles that. I feel my honor as a man slowly diminishing. Notice anything? Did you notice anything?
I was wondering whose footprints those are next to the elevator.
I'd say the killers, wouldn't you say? Even if they aren't, I'm sure they're a vital clue to solving the case.
Oh, maybe there are other clues waiting to be found in other places. Come on now, Mr. Edgeworth, let's go find them together.
A word of advice, nobody likes a credit thief, so stop stealing my lines. Yes, we don't really know much about the victim, aside from, I guess he might have been at the same art exhibit as Mr. Borginia here. I was wondering if you noticed anything, Mr. Nero, about what?
Yes, I can help but notice the sad atmosphere in here.
Yes, it is a rather tragic crime.
I'll say, robbing the poor man after bludgeoning him to death, talk about rubbing in the salt.
I believe I mentioned this earlier, but no money was stolen from Mr. Hicks.
Oh, yes, you did. Sorry for the accusation. But I still insist that there is something off, or missing from when he was at his seat.
Oh? Something is missing. A little click-clack machine, perhaps.
I can't forgive someone who would do this to a passenger of mine. I swear as a professional flight attendant that I will capture the culprit with my own hands.
And I promise as a prosecutor to solve this case with logic and deduction. I should go over all the leads I've collected so far one more time. The key to solving the lies and the intersection of my logic are evidence. So, I can present stuff. So let's go ahead and do that.
Even if you show that to me, I still cannot allow you to free reign. I'm sorry, but I must admit that I still have my doubts about you.
Guilty until proven innocent, I see. Well... Oh my god, please. Work with me, lady. Okay, nothing about the time. What about the crime scene? Wow, you are a closed book. Do you want to see my badge? Nope. Proves nothing. You know, now that we've deduced that there might be something inside this room, can we get permission to open this? Just beyond the shutters. Don't have permission. I mean, okay. There must still be clue. Well, alright, we have Is this thing anything? No. Ooh, wait, I can look at this. What or who is this?
This is a bronze statue of the founder of iFly Airlines, Mr. Hugo iFly.
Hugo iFly. These writers are going to be the death of me.
The one on the left is one...
Wait.
of when he was in his 40s, and the other is of him in his 80s.
Didn't really change all that much. Did the man actually age in the span of 4 decades? Maybe I need to squint more. Alright. Nothing about the piano. Anything? I mean, there should be nothing up there. Those are just stuff about the windows again. Oh, hey, there's some stuff over here. There are a few copies of Sky magazine in the magazine rack.
This month's special is an English trivia quiz.
It's not a bad idea. I've heard that the youth of today don't know a particular... Wait, a particle from a participant. My god. I don't know the difference between the two.
Now, please don't go around confusing people with made-up words, Mr. Edgeworth.
Who's ever heard of such a silly word as participle? Case in point. You see the front? It has tusks. What else has tusks? A puma? Didn't I say not to make up animals? That's just the glasses and candles again. I see that the side of this statue has got a thing on it. A pity that a bronze statue knows not when a good drink has been spilt at its feet.
This is a statue of our founder, Mr. Hugo iFly, who was a big fan of grape juice. I'm sure he would be thrilled if he knew so much grape juice was here at his feet.
Is that a hint of a hero worshipping I detect? Well, damn it. Are we gonna look... Spilled... okay. Unfortunately, a delightful scent of grapes is obscured by the unpleasant smell of the crime scene.
This scent in the air... It's the same smell as the smell of my towels after they come out of my home dryer.
I would have never expected something like that by looking at you. I suppose everyone has something unpleasant about them. Well, shit. Apparently this this weird blue... I see a weird blue thing going on with the statue, but... Alright, so the only thing... Skip. The only thing I can think left is to deduce something in here. So we found credit cards, money, all that jazz. I guess the only thing I can really do here is deduce. Can I do something on his face? Shit. Well, okay, let me think. Well, one contradiction I would say is this here. And for whatever reason, his tag is missing. Mr. Hicks' machine is nowhere to be found.
His machine?
His cell phone, Miss Tenero? Tenero, rather. My god.
So I guess because it's not here...
Yes, I think we can safely deduce that the killer took it. How did I get the cell phone thing from showing the fact that the tag was missing? Did I accidentally find something? Missing cell phone data jotted down in an organizer. Well, I did it. Okay, so now can we have a chat about this with you? What you think? Son of a bitch. Okay, how about I go ahead and I look at that myself? Missing cell phone. The victim supposedly had one, but it has gone missing. Did the killer take it? Alright. Do I have any new logic? No. If only I could prove that the killer rode the elevator with Hicks. Broken glass. I mean, is there any way that I could prove it using the grape juice? The spill is directly right in front of the elevator, and someone clearly did walk out. And the footprints are faced, like, outside of where the elevator was. Like, going out of it. I kind of want to say that somehow this is clear proof. But let's see. Hey, I got it! I have it! I'm sorry, but I don't understand, Mr. Edgeworth. I can prove that someone other than myself was here around the time of the murder. What? Really? Yes, it's rather simple, actually. The proof is in the pudding, or rather, the grape juice in this case. These footsteps here confess to me this very fact. That someone exited the elevator alive. Seeing as how the victim is dead, that would mean a second person, rather. But couldn't the footprints be from Mr. Hicks himself? No, he's dead. But if you take a look at our victim's shoes, you can see the soles are spotless. Which means Mr. Hicks wasn't alone in the elevator. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There was actually one other person inside the elevator. Interesting. Complete. So we found enough evidence that says that I didn't do it, please. What's going on over there? Oh, God damn it. Oh, hey, you know Virginian. Okay, well, I've already forgotten his voice. Unforgivable. This is unforgivable. Do you understand what I'm saying? The movie is late. It is the same level of bad as if the plane arrived late. But the movie... What? I will not talk to you anymore. You are just wasting my time. What is the matter, Mr. LeBlanc? If there is no emergency, please return to your seat, sir. Do not tell me what to do. I need not to sit down. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, did you prove you are innocent yet? If you would like, I will prove my innocence to you right now. What? Nonsense! Are you saying my eyewitness testimony is mistaken? Not mistaken, merely that there is room for doubt. I'd be most honored if you could please tell me what you saw in detail once more. Fine, suit yourself. Alright. What's the dude saw? I am certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter that elevator. It was when the needles on my pocket watch pointed to the 6 and the 12. The body was discovered 15 minutes after that in the lounge, yes? Then you, the only person in the lounge at that time, must be the criminal. Mr. LeBlanc's conclusion seems to make logical sense. After all, the only person in the lounge at the supposed time of the murder was me. So, my eyewitness testimony. If you think you can destroy it, then come, let me see. Hurry. Do I look like a man who's having the time to wait for you? Why is he so irritated? I'm the one accused of murder here. Anyway, I must find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's account somehow, and fast. I think the time discrepancy is finally going to come in here. I am certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter that elevator. Sure. Mr. LeBlanc, were you able to get a good look at the inside of the elevator at that time? Of course, I saw what was inside. And you are sure that the victim was in the elevator alone? Yes, the only person inside was that Mr. Hicks man. This last outburst is a bit too important to let go. The only person inside was that Mr. Hicks man. Oh, interesting. Alright, so I pressed, and then, hey, you just said that you did that. Well, I mean, now I guess we could present the grape juice footprints. Split during the turbulence. Looks like footprints and something being dragged. I wonder if maybe that has something to do with it. Hey, I did it! I was just like, can we finish this off early? That seems like it fits. Mr. LeBlanc. What is it? There is a very glaring contradiction in your testimony. But what do you mean? Please take a look at the area in front of the elevator. There, at the spilled grape juice. Yes, and? Will you admit you also spilled it with the blood? No, it spilled itself during the turbulence. But the interesting thing here is the set of grape juice footprints. Footprints? Yes, the ones that lead from within the elevator out to the lounge itself. It's evidence that proves that someone other than Mr. Hicks exited the elevator alive. There must have been another person in the elevator with Mr. Hicks. Now then, I'm done playing games. Why don't you tell us the truth?
Can you please translate for us? No way. That's totally impossible. I guess is what he said.
No way, that's totally impossible. Oh my god. I know there was no other person in there. I saw with my own eyes.
If you want to know what I think, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't think Mr. LeBlanc is lying to us.
I suppose she's right. He doesn't seem to be lying. But then, what does it mean? What about this contradiction? Mr. LeBlanc, please, just once more, will you recall the details of what you witnessed for me? What I saw, part 2. I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. I was always checking the time over and over again. I happened to follow that man with my eyes when he passed me, and I saw clearly into the elevator he was entering. I swear there was no one else inside. No one.
Mr. LeBlanc, if you would please calm down.
What? Dare you two have an issue with my eyewitness testimony?
No, not at all. Please, forget I said anything.
Yet again, he doesn't appear to be lying. But I can't let this testimony stand as the truth. I'm wondering when the time discrepancy is going to come in. I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. It's very strange. So, are you still upset now? I'm always upset. The only time I am not is when I have a piece of art in my hands. It's surprisingly easy to believe that about him. But when I was even more upset when Mr. Hicks walked by me. I was always checking the time over and over and over again and over. Oh, hey, well, he was always checking the time over and over and over again. Oh, really? Why were you so attentive to the time? Because something unforgivable was happening. Come to think of it, you were yelling about something unforgivable earlier. I was giving a complaint to the attendant about the movie starting time. Return back to me my time and money. You understand the point? Movie? Is he talking about the in-flight one that's mentioned in the magazine? Let's see. Where is that located in here? Oh, hey, yeah, the in-flight movie was... Oh, yeah. So the movie was supposed to start at 6. And, oh my god. Oh, I think, yeah, I absolutely know what's got him confused. And I for a little while here, I was kind of thinking maybe he's the murderer. I don't think so anymore. Or, well, I have less of an inkling of it. A summary of the plot and the start time. Interesting. They were supposed to show License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder. I cannot see that movie in my country. You can only see it on international flights. I looked forward greatly to that movie. I checked my pocket, watch whenever possible so I would not miss it. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came on board. So my watch is not wrong. It matched the schedule. But the movie was still late. Very, very late. What time did you set the watch to? Your pocket watch. I'd like to ask you a little more about it, if that's all right. The movie I wanted to see would not start, so I checked my pocket watch many times. So this movie you mentioned, is it the one listed in the Sky magazine? Yes. I was so looking forward to watching License and Love, Laugh, Miss Tenero. Who was the movie shown on... was this movie shown on this flight? My God.
Yes, it was shown at the scheduled time.
Isn't it possible you simply slept through it by accident?
Nonsense! You doubt me?
I like it. Devil finger guns. No, stop pointing at me like that. Odd. How did he miss a movie that he was clearly hoping to see?
I checked my pocket watch a great number of times. That much I know for sure. My watch is set to my destination time. I always set it when I board the plane.
That's interesting. All times shown correspond to our departure time zone. Mr. LeBlanc, you said this just now in your testimony.
I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came on board.
Now, if your watch has been set to our destination's time zone, it would mean that your watch is displaying the time of our destination.
Yes, and the correct time is worth its 6 cents.
I would like you to take a look at this. If you believe this Sky magazine, clocks on this flight run in accordance with the time of our departure time zone. Of course, the movie schedule was also created with that in mind. Mr. De Niro, for confirmation's sake, what time zone is this flight aligned to right now?
Well, we made a short stop at a transfer point.
That's right. It was in that small Asian country, the Republic of Zengfa.
But we didn't readjust our onboard clocks at that time. So right now, we are still running on Borginian time.
What? The time difference between Borginia and our destination is 9 hours. In that case, it's only natural that your watch would be out of sync with the schedule. Further, with your analog watch set to our destination's time, it would appear to be running 3 hours fast when compared to the flight's onboard clocks. It also changes everything about your testimony. And you can bet 1 million cents on that. In light of this information, it means you saw Mr. Hicks 3 hours prior to 3 a.m. My God, who opened the window? My 1 million cents! This should clear up all the remaining accusations.
So this basically widens the time frame for your time of death, right?
Yes, because Mr. LeBlanc saw the victim enter the elevator at 3 a.m. It means that the time of death could be anywhere from 3 to 6:15 a.m. The question now is, where was Mr. Hicks during that span of time, and what was he doing?
I've got something to say.
And you are...
Yeah, oh. I'm chamomile.
Chamomile? Okay. That's a reference to a thing. Chamomile, is it? I'm trying to remember if that's something that helps you sleep. That's what...
I'm a flight attendant.
And what is it you wish to say?
Well, I think your story is a little different from how I remember it. What do you mean, Cammy? I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know.
What? How can you be so sure of the time?
Oh, that's right. He pushed his call button while we were parked at the transfer point.
Oh, hey, another part of the thing. This flight will be making a brief stop to refuel and transfer cargo in the Republic of Zhengfa between 4 and 5 a.m. We ask that all passengers remain on board at that time. Thank you for your cooperation. Okay. Oh, the stop we made for refueling and cargo transfer in Zhengfa, correct?
Yes, it was from 4 to 5 a.m., according to our clocks.
And during that time, did any of the passengers leave or did any new ones board the flight?
No. Not a single person got off or in Zhengfa.
What about the flight crew?
The few who were handling the cargo transfer might have temporarily gotten on or off, but eventually everyone, including Cammy and myself, came back on the plane.
The shit-eating grin on Cammy. So basically, I can assume that no one left or got on since our initial takeoff. Interesting. I should keep that in mind. Very well. Evidence. The refueling.
Yeah, and I answered his call. I can tell you Mr. Hack B. Hicks was there in his seat when we took off again at 5 a.m.
Okay, there's the testimony. I don't know, she's really sleepy. Shall we take her testimony? All right, then that puts the time of the murder between 5 and 6:15.
Okay, now what time did you come down to the lounge, Mr. Edgeworth?
I remember coming down here as soon as we left the Republic of Zhengfa. Good.
You were here the whole time from 5, yes? Then you're the only one who could be the killer. Mr. Edgeworth, were you really here at in this lounge the entire time from 5 a.m. onwards?
Unfortunately, yes.
But then, how do we explain the footprints?
How do we explain the footprints?
It's not that obvious. This man waited for Mr. Hicks here in this lounge, waited to kill him, and then he put the corpse into the elevator. That is when the turbulence happened. My eyewitness testimony may have been mistaken, but what time I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator on the second floor does not matter, because the entire incident concluded here in this lounge.
Everything happened in this lounge? Is that what you really believe, Mr. LeBlanc?
Do you have another idea?
I simply feel that there is something out of place in this scenario you presented. Is there something that can tie this crime to a location other than this lounge?
I mean...
the elevator might have something to do with it, considering the fact that the elevator is something that can transfer between the lounge and upstairs. So I kind of want to say that would be it. Let me think. Souvenir picture, perhaps? I have no idea what the souvenir would mean. Apparently nobody got in or out of here aside from maybe flight crew, so we can throw that out as a suspicion. Right. I seriously do think that the elevator is a really big red herring here. Being like, yeah, the corpse was on the elevator. He could have been on a different floor the entire time. And this would basically tell it that.
I don't need to hear your wild desperation stories. Grasping for weeds, I think is how you say it, yes?
I didn't mean to pull that piece out. It was a simple slip of the hand, I assure you. Is there something that can tie the crime to a location? Oh, shit. Tie the crime to a location, eh? Well, let's think about this. This piggy bank might, considering the fact that the piggy bank... Oh, that really confuses the ever-loving hell out of this, but... Aha! Yes, we need to go and inspect that room. The murder weapon. This little piggy bank is sold at the in-flight shop. It is sold there and only there and is not displayed here in this lounge. How then did it find its way here? Don't you find that a tiny bit suspicious?
Such a trivial point. It only means you prepared it, taking it from the shop first before coming here. It doesn't prove you are innocent at all.
Is there no way to win with this man?
Hold it. If I may. What is it? You see, well, it's just as Mr. Edgeworth says. Oh, and why do you know this so well? Well, it's just that piggy bank was there in the shop. I saw it with my own eyes.
And when was this?
It was maybe around 5:40 a.m.
Isn't that just before we hit that patch of turbulence?
That's right.
You were in the shop just before the turbulence. Uh-oh, we have a new possible suspect.
Yes, I was.
Come to think of it, Mr. Nero, when I found the body, I believe you came out of that door.
Yes, I did.
And what is beyond that door?
That's the flight attendant's room.
Then you were on the first floor?
Yes. I had to do something at the shop and in the flight attendant's room. So I went to the shop first and then to the flight attendant's room.
Are you saying you passed by me at some point?
Yes. You seemed really into the issue of Sky Magazine you were reading at the time. I don't suppose you noticed me walking by?
I vaguely recall someone walking by, but I didn't take notice of who it was.
Anyway, the piggy bank was definitely there at the shop when I went there. Why'd you go to the shop in the first place? I went there for a work-related matter.
Work, you say?
Yes, the upkeep of the shop is also one of my responsibilities.
Why did you not say anything about that until now is what I want to know. In any case, I believe it's clear that the shop needs to be investigated as well.
Shall we head over there then?
Hold it. Ooh, what? Oh, damn it. Why? What do you have to say? Wipe that smug look off of your face. You need to catch some Z's. What is it now?
I should forget something, Miss Rhoda. Don't you need a captain's permission to check the shop? No, I haven't forgotten. But I have already asked him for permission to search the entire plane. So I think we're all right.
That's weird. What is...
I just talked to the captain, see? And he said he didn't give you permission to do anything like that at all.
Oh, fuck off. Really? What is the meaning of this, Miss De Niro?
I mean, she's lying. Go on. I bet that you are. You said you had permission to search all over, but you don't. And yet here you are.
Is that true? And why? Why would you lie about that?
You, flight attendant. What are you trying to do? Pull the sheep over us? Captain's calling for you, Miss Rhoda. Oh, but don't worry. I already got permission to search the shop from the captain. See, unlike you, I do things the right way.
Miss De Niro, why would you do such a thing?
Please excuse me.
Well, so much for being a professional.
Looks like I get to be in charge now. Please go back to your seat, Mr. LeBlanc. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you would follow me, I will be your guide from now on.
There's something about Miss De Niro that has piqued my curiosity. Right now, investigating the in-flight shop is my top priority. Oh dear. All this yawning is going to actually make me tired. Alright, well, there's rough religion here as well. March 12th, 8:32 a.m., Flight I-390, first floor in-flight shop. So, this is the in-flight shop. It's quite a mess in here. You think? Guess I'll have to clean things up here then. Hold on! You can't clean up a potential crime scene. Oh, thank goodness. I hate cleaning so much. God, okay, I officially hate her. I mustn't rush things here. I must remain cool, calm, and collected. Because this piggy bank was left at the crime scene. And this piggy bank left from the market. There's a very good chance that the killer had paid this place a visit. Alright. So we have really gaudy suitcases. What are these? Oh, those are our company's completely original line of suitcases. They practically fly out the door. That's how popular they are. You should buy one and see how you like it. You won't regret it. Perhaps that's how things work on this flight, but in the real world you try, then buy. No way! But either way, it doesn't really matter. True, either way, why would anyone buy a suitcase after they boarded the plane? Maybe you needed to buy a shitload of souvenirs from the place. So much that you need to buy an extra space for an in-flight bag. Anyway, see that? Just look at all the Mr. iFly heads painted on there. Cute company mascot, isn't he? They're painted on with a lot of care. Doesn't he look like he's about to jump out at you? It is certainly making something jump inside my stomach. I guess there's no fooling your refined tastes. Yes. I enjoy my caviar with a side of caviar! You look like you really wanted to get one. And I thought I was gonna finally make my first sale, but you saw right through it. Glad that's done, though. Never make me try to give you a sales pitch ever again, okay? But I never showed any interest in it to begin with. Teehee. Really is pretty horrible, isn't it? You wanted to know something? This suitcase was designed by Mr. Oda. Mr. Nero designed this? Yeah, it was a completely company-wide contest. Well, it does have a very sharp design sense. Sharp. Like stinky sharp cheddar, maybe. I really have no idea why the bigwigs decided to go with it. So... Miss Tenero designed this, did she? It's definitely not what I would have expected. Oh, dear God. Okay. I'm fine. Please, watch yourself, Miss Mail. Letting a suitcase freely roll around has got to be a safety violation. So yes, the suitcases were not bound and the wheels were not clicked into place so that they wouldn't roll. Yeah, I'll put it back. Alright. So, we got this stuff. Inside this display case is a row of lifesavers and life vests for sale. I sell a lot of those when there's some kind of accident or something. Some people buy them even when nothing's going on. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? Care to buy one? I sense that this shop is one shopper away from being sued. Alright, we got this thing. There's a wide selection of souvenirs for sale in these display cases. You know what I suggest? Sorry, I have no intention of buying souvenirs on this trip. Okay, how about you buy something for me then? As a present. I can't think of a single reason why I'd want to buy you anything. But I've had my eye on that pendant for such a long time. Try paying some attention to me when I ask you something and then we'll talk. Okay, so we've got ourselves glass shards and stuff. The glass from this display case door is shattered all over the floor. And it looks like there's nothing on display inside either. Wait, actually, I think there is something. What's this? A mini captain's hat. Weird. Okay, so we got whatever this is back here. Stuffed toys, just like the ones Miss Mail is holding, are on display here. They're relatively cheap, which explains why they're displayed so haphazardly. I bet Mr. Edgeworth, you know you want one. They're great for when you're stressed. Why do I envision stuffed animal abuse when she says that? She seems very stressed and very tired. What about this? Oh no, that's just the stuffed toy line again. He doesn't carry those things around all that, with a whole lot of finesse. Let's see. What about this? Beautiful flowers and a beautiful arrangement. I feel cleansed just by looking at them. Mr. Edgeworth, you're getting pollen all over. Oh, excuse me. Anything over here? Oh. Yeah, nothing with that. Okay. Let's have a chat then. I don't know much about this shop, but you can still ask me about whatever. Notice anything? So, what do you think about what's happened regarding this case? Oh, I don't know. I guess I think you're the killer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. I assure you that I'm here in this shop to prove just the opposite. Yeah, but it was me that got the permission to look around, you know. So don't forget that, okay? How am I supposed to thank you properly if you insist on falling asleep? Well, you know, I'd really show you thanks. You see that item for sale over there? Sorry, but you're going to have to make do with my words of appreciation. I doubt that presenting anything to you would actually mean anything, but... Oh, I'd love to have this piece of jewelry. Can I have it? No, you may not. This is a prosecutor's badge. Boy, then why'd you show it to me? I wanted to prove to you that I really am a prosecutor, and that it's not possible for a prosecutor like me to commit such a crime as... out cold. Oh, I see that I'm just wasting my time with Cousin Hare here. What is it, Cousin It or whatever the heck? What about the wallet? So what is that? Are you gonna give it to me? Oh, I'm not supposed to accept any presents. Unless they're really worth something. Oh, no. I'm not gonna give you the corpse. What about the Sky magazine? Nothing of the sort. What about this picture? We found this picture. Boy. All you were really interested was in the really... Oh, hey. Yep. There we go. I was about to say, all you're interested is in the jewelry. Okay. You're interested in this thing. It's rather sad this piggy bank was in the shop, right? Don't you find her a tiny bit suspicious? I don't think I can say either way yet. There's not enough evidence to convince me that she was lying about anything back there. You sure about that? We'll see. Do you know anything about this phone that's missing? No. The footprints. I cannot hand you footprints, lady. Do you know anything else about the refueling? Like I said earlier, I was the one answering people's calls when we were refueling in Zhangfa. Mr. Hicks was in a seat at the time. What time was that again? He called around 5 a.m. You were at your seat around then too, you know. I do recall people calling for service at around that time. Even if this turns out to be a waste of time, I must stand firm. I just know that there's a vital clue or two awaiting me here in the shop. So, your testimony, how much do you stand by it? I cannot hand you your testimony. Interesting, okay. So we've already shown that this weird thing over here is nothing. We've already looked at this, we've already looked at that. Doesn't look like there's anything I can do with that. That just looks like the case. I think now would be a good time to deduce. So if we need to deduce anything... The victim's glasses are broken. Were they broken during the murder? Tiny Cap It is a tiny captain's hat. I swear I've seen one of these before. Planes shaking caused it to roll. In-flight suitcase displays can be... okay, Oh, it's gotta be something in relation to, like, glass or something. Tiny captain's hat? It is a tiny captain's hat. I swear I've seen one of these before. Where have I seen one of these before? I don't remember. The blood on it is still fresh. Could this be the murder weapon? I'm really not sure how any of this stuff would link. Do I have the ability to leave this room? No, I guess I need to continue to investigate. Are these cases any different? When I don't know. Looks like they're all one item here. Well then. Maybe I can inspect something. No, actually I don't have anything new. Yeah, I really feel like logic is probably the first thing I should be looking for here. I feel like this suitcase caused to roll. In-flight suitcase displays can be hazardous. Question. Can I look at the glass on the floor? Probably not. Nope. Well, I mean, I can, but... Victim's glasses are broken. Were they broken during his murder? Tiny Happens Cat. Oh, Happens Cat. Happenstance Kitten. Tiny Captain's Hat. I swear I've seen one of these before. Does the suitcase have anything to do with this? I have no clue, but we'll see. Dud. That piece doesn't fit together quite right. But something's got it, right? Maybe these two. There's only so many ways that these things can connect. Damn. Not exactly a shining example of the perfect line of logic. Okay. So we have attempted to connect this with this. Wonder if broken glass would be in any way connected with a suitcase. I don't see why, but... Nope. The pieces don't fit quite together. Okay, little bit flummoxed. I don't know, maybe is there anything in here that I just missed that I'm not paying attention to? I've looked at the case, I've looked over here. Souvenirs. No intention of buying anything. Anything else involved with these suitcases? One sharp design. Sharp ain't the word. 50% off is right. Okay, nothing about the flowers. And then there's the stuff in the case, but... Ooh, hey. Is this anything new? There are all kinds of luxury name brand merchandise for sale in this display case. And they're lined up in just such a manner as to scream, "Buy me!" to any passengers by. Well, crap. Ah, yes, and then the stuffed toys, which these are on the floor. Okay, well, with those deductions... I mean, there's a whole bunch of papers on the floor. I would really like it if I was able to do anything with that. Doesn't look like it. Well, I can talk directly with you, but nothing. And I've already presented frickin' everything. Yeah, I'm saving. Because I'm in a nasty little spot here. Okay. Let's begin the logistics again. Alright, so... do the broken glasses in this thing mix together? Ah. Hello, Ventar X. Can't see a clear connection. Crap. Am I liking the game? You're playing it for the first time as well. You're not on the case. Here's that. Oh, you're a tiny bit further. Right. Well, at this moment, I'm trying to figure out how these bits connect. All right. I'm deducing what I have currently done so far when it comes to logic. I'm still very confused as to why a tiny captain's hat would have any. Has the tiny captain's hat ever been on the murder weapon? Hey, there we go! The hat probably used to be on the piggy bank's head. Let's give it a go and see. Plop. That's adorable. I believe this piggy bank was forcibly removed from this display case. Does this mean that the killer broke the glass to get at it? Maybe. Really? Don't tell me you don't know what things go where in the what things go where in the shop. Well, I don't. Miss Rona's in charge of this place. So come on, how should I know anything? I sense that further inspection of this display case is needed. Aha! Finally! I can do a little bit of investigating. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Right, so the whole thing's broken. Buddha! Is that the same man as the one portrayed by the statues around the elevator? Yeah, that's the paperweight of the founder of iFly Airlines, Mr. Hugo iFly. I suppose if you just occurred to me, if you have the last name iFly, you're basically destined to be an airplane salesman, or an airplane runner, or whatever the hell. On the bottom shelf, we have the cute one. The middle shelf is the realistic one. Oh, right. It is kind of a cute one. And on the top shelf, that's a floral version. Floral? That doesn't look like him. Floral? Are you sure about that? Let me guess, you just said the first thing that came to your mind, right? No. Looks like a hit bullseye. Alright, so we got ourselves some pretty expensive jewelry in here. And a couple of books. Let's examine this. The glass on this door is broken. Perhaps it was the killer who broke it in order to take the piggy bank. But it's a bit odd that the inside of the case is so devoid of glass shards. Plus, the glass broke rather cleanly. I don't know how to do tired and freaked out at the same time. I touched the glass. I think I cut my finger. It hurts, Mr. Edgeworth. It hurts. Please tell me you can deal with such a minor cut on your own. Yes, yes. Make sure none of it hits a vein and gets into a blood, your bloodstream. You will seriously be hurt. Anything else on these edges? Oh, what's this? iFly Airlines related books line the shelf. The history of iFly Airlines. The future of iFly Airlines. Hello, Mario. How are you doing? Let's see. The 7 Wonders of iFly. Fight on iFly Airlines. Working name, Go You Airlines. I Hot Flying. The titles make it very clear that they won't be making the top sellers list anytime soon. Yes, I don't think anybody will be picking up, but... I don't know, if I were to see just like, oh hey, Delta Airlines, a history in flying. Boo. Did I get off the plane yet? No, I have not gotten off of this plane. This is, the case where a murder took place in the plane. I'm trying to figure it out. For security, there's a lock on this display case. Miss Melee, if, I keep wanting to say Melee, but I know it's Meal. If I may ask you about this lock. The one who's in charge of the shop is Miss Rhoda, so, he's got the keys to all his display cases. I see. Oh, I bet you want to buy something. Do you want me to go get the key from her? No, that's all right. There's a cameo in this case. Good luck finding it. I'm trying to remember if I've seen the cameo or not. But something tells me this cameo is very subtle. Fine. Can I look at the fine jewelry? Nope. Only the glass. I cut myself. I broke a nail. No. All right. So I needed to do something here. It's gotta be something about the glass shards. The first case's cameo was Payne, but he was oh, right. Gotta take a gander at people again, then. Maybe I completely spaced something. Well, we will see. We will see. All right. So what can we deduce with this? What's so odd about the fact that there is just... Found at the crime scene, culprit must have shattered the display case glass to take it. But... I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to be deducing here, per se. There are 2 cameos in case 3, and one is very easy to miss. Alright. I do like the cameo for Mr. Payne. I gotta say, that was oddly refreshing. I guess I'll just deduce. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? I mean, it's connected to the piggy bank. There is definitely something very unusual about this. Why? If the killer had broken the glass to get at Mr. iFly's bank, there should be shards of glass inside the case itself. I don't know how the bear connected to the glass shards. I feel like I should have had glass shards as a piece of evidence, but whatever, I'll let that slide. I see. I guess it'd be like that. However, there's not a single piece of glass inside the display case. Nope. No, there isn't. Which means that the glass was broken from the inside out. Which means we have a murderous voodoo bear on our hands. The piggy bank must have fallen over from the turbulence and right through the glass. Yeah, that's for sure. There's so much glass all over the floor. I'm willing to bet that this hat was knocked off its head at that time, too. Okay, back. Yeah. I'm gonna pass you, you're gonna start playing. Hey, by all means, go play it. Don't spoil yourself. If you're at all interested in my reactions to anything, I'm gonna be posting the VODs sometime on YouTube after I'm done. Like, if I need to edit it or do something, I'm gonna be posting it up to my YouTube. That's nice. Which leads me to believe that the killer took the Mr. iFly from here after the turbulence. I like Voodoo Bear much more. You'll still be watching. Okay. Wake up, scoundrel. Take your power naps on your own time, Miss Meal, and listen to what I'm talking. What? We've met What's-Her-Face and Meal, but who else? Oh, God. Sorry, I don't have everybody's names memorized. I'm terrible with names, I'll just say. I'm good with faces, horrible at names. Even in my real life, like, I'll I'll know somebody for a period of about a week. I'm like, and you were... But the murder occurred before the turbulence, which rules this piggy bank out as the murder weapon. So you mean the bank's a real murder weapon? It's a fake. Yes, at this point, that is a very real possibility. Yes, Mr. LeBlanc is the other guy, the Borginian man. But then, what if the killer went to take Mr. Eyefly? They broke the glass by accident. The display case is locked, so that's highly unlikely. Yeah, I feel you, man. I'm like that in real life. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I just need more sugar. Now I remember one. I've jumped a couple of jobs, and it's real fun to completely throw out a lot of people's names at one job and then try and completely rebuild like your infrastructure of job people. Just being like, oh God, you are Evan. There was an Evan at my other job too. So, I don't think I can... I can actually look at profiles. You're right. I was thinking just like, no. Yes, so... Apke Hicks, Rhoda, Zinc LeBlanc, Cammy Meal. Those are all the people. I don't think I've ever run into those guys ever before. Once you remember too many names, you start to screw up people's names on a regular basis. Yeah, it's even harder when it's an entire group of new people you need to remember. Alright. So, one person who could have. Oh, and who would that be? This game is so different but similar at the same time. I agree. Miss Rhoda, of course. I mean, she's the one in charge of this place, so she has the key to everything. Miss Rhoda Tenero, huh? Alright, so we have deduced that thingy. Oh, hey, we are not done, eh? So, I guess I talk to you now? I don't know much about the shop, but you can still ask me things. Alright. I can ask about the shop, sure. I cut my finger on those bad pieces of glass. Don't blame the glass for something you did to yourself. Just be more careful. You're the one walking all over broken glass. Sure you're okay? I'm fine. Any glass I walk on, I crush. Like this. That's nice. Very macho man. Crushing glass with the soles of his feet. Please be careful around the display case, okay? I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Compared to the glass around my feet, the inside of this case is nothing but to be afraid of. After all, no glass fragments appear to have ended up inside. Then I guess even you can tidy up the case, right? Perish the thought! Oh, fun. Yeah, transferring schools. I can't imagine. Funny enough, when I was growing up, I transferred to at least, like, I think 4 different schools, so... God, long-lasting relationships, what's that? Can I present anything to you now? Let me see. Let's just present the new stuff. Maybe the piggy bank. I'm sure I said the piggy bank was in the shop, right? Don't you find her a tiny bit suspicious? I don't... Okay, I think this is the old thing. Fun fact. Ace Attorney Investigation 2 has an anti-piracy measure. If pirated, all text will be replaced. Oh, yeah, you were talking about that. And I think that is amazing. So, shit! I pirated the Borginian version! But everyone plays a pirated version. Anti-piracy systems aren't 100%. Just ask Ubisoft. Okay. So I guess... Unless there's anything else that I need to inspect in here, the only thing I can think is logic. Broken glass, turbulence, and the suitcase. Interesting. The plane shook so much during that it made a huge mess of the shop. Or Square Enix. Yeah, very good. I like anti-theft that just makes fun of the person that goes and does the piracy. I wonder if maybe the broken glass had something to do with... Like, the glasses had something to do with the turbulence. Did I hear what happened with Final Fantasy? That's 15 in Roman numerals, right? That was the, that's the demo of Final Fantasy 15, right? Oh, actually, no. There's a new Final Fantasy that's being demoed right now. They put De Nouveau... Oh, god damn it. Why does anybody put De Nouveau on anything? Like, for real, that's the main reason why I'm not picking up Sonic Mania for PC. Because, like, seriously, what's the point? Like, you might as well just pour, like, a cup of coffee into my computer for all I care. Like, it's about just as effective. And just as healthy, but... Anyway, I wonder if the turbulence could be the cause of what happened with these broken glasses. Shit! Not exactly a shining example of the perfect line of logic. Crap. Alright, so it's not that. So... the plane shook so much during that it made a huge mess of the shop. And... plane's shaking caused it to roll in-flight suitcase. Display can be hazardous. De Nouveau is... like, for Mario Gimon in the chat asked, what's De Nouveau? De Nouveau is a third-party anti-piracy software that you can hire out to actually put their anti-piracy... essentially the code into a video game, and then it will watch and make sure that you're not doing anything malicious with it. And it's supposedly an uncrackable thing, or it's one of those things that's so difficult to crack that it's ridiculous. It's not. And the only thing it does is it just weighs down your computer's hardware. Like, that's it. And Ubisoft, oh, they're real fun when it comes to it, because they have their own stupid Uplay DRM, and they've also paired up that along with De Nouveau before. And I think another thing, there was like 3 layers of anti-piracy on Assassin's Creed Origins. It's like, what the ever-loving hell? Crack EX or whatever. Oh, that's easy. Like, Jesus, I was like, is that a software? Yeah, and the funny thing is that De Nouveau and all this stuff, it's easily crackable. Ubisoft stopped their DRM lately. As long as they continue releasing stuff on Uplay, I still count them as using DRM, because for God's sakes. Like, if I need to buy a game through Steam and then log into Uplay, I still count it. And I know you can play their games offline now, but you still at least need to have logged into Uplay once. It's still an extra account that is kind of silly and unnecessary. Maybe I'm old school when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like, I remember back in the day, all you needed to do was go and buy a CD. And there you go. There's the game. Just make sure you put the CD in the drive and you got it. And that was before you just straight up installed it, and that was the end of it. Anyway. So, broken glasses is not linked up with this. But the suitcase could be linked into something, though. You don't see extra accounts as DRM? By all means. If you're cool with it, then sure. Here. There. Hey! That worked, apparently. Yes, there is definitely something wrong here. Where's the sun and yelling? Tell me, Miss Meal, don't you think there's something strange about this suitcase? With these suitcases, rather. Oh, sure. They're totally ooze strange. Like the color and such. That's not what I'm talking about. Now, pay attention. You're scaring me, Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah, you look not scared at all. You actually look sort of baked. Sorry? These suitcases are lined up a bit too prim and proper. Yeah, they look a bit uptight, don't they? But I guess they take after their creator. Again, that's not what I meant, Miss Meal. Don't you find it unusual that these cases are the only things undisturbed by the turbulence? Never mind, I'd sooner find an answer by inspecting these suitcases myself. Ah, interesting. Upon closer inspection, they really are quite hideous. Tee. I wonder how Miss Rhoda would have reacted if she heard what you just said. Meh, whatever. A dog. She makes a good point. It would be wise of me to watch what I say out loud. What's this? I've spotted something that's not quite right. What's not quite right? Let me see. First console was PS2. Parents had no reason to go to next generation. Well, PS2 lasted for frickin' ever, so... What is odd about these? Okay, I'm looking at... Oh, hey! Yeah, these ones actually have stoppers on them. Yeah, I figured you thought the design was odd, too. I never said the design was odd. Oh, shit. Did I point at the wrong one? Seriously, the game didn't give me that one? I saw it. It's a spot the difference puzzle. And clearly, this is right. That is not fair. There's something very peculiar about these wheels. As in, there are no stoppers in place of these. Without stoppers, one would think that the turbulence would have sent it flying. And so it's very likely that the suitcase was placed here after we hit the turbulence. Let's take a closer look at it, shall we? Ooh, neat. Okay, so now I have a 3D suitcase. What can I... Anything particular that I can look at on this thing aside from the front? Nah, whatever. BRB. Alright, cool. This was apparently designed by Miss Teniro herself. The design has a certain je ne sais quoi about it. Oh wait, who said that line? Damn it. Yes, perhaps that is the best way to put it. Okay, anything else about it? Here, zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so there's tags. Maybe the tags or something. It was that one because it was a strange one. I don't know. I guess. I suppose. I think it's odd that, you know, spot that... Technically, yeah, that's the weird one. I just feel like the other one should count because it's in the same vein, being like, that one has stoppers. Oh, dang. Hello, welcome back. Alright, a 1200 price tag. Not exactly priced by someone with a conscience, I'd say. God. Okay, well, it's got a big old bow. Maybe I can open it? It would appear to be unlocked. Let's take a look at what's inside. Blood! A piece of cloth. And it's soaked with blood! Ah, you forgot to save. Oopsies. Yeah, I've done that before. It's blood! It appears that this suitcase is very strongly tied to our murder after all. Alright. I got a little bit more health. So, explain this to me. What does the suitcase have to do with the murder? I believe it's pretty safe to say that the killer used the suitcase in some manner. Such as to move something, perhaps? But are you just talking about the cloth, then? That alone is too small. A larger item would be needed to move what I'm thinking of. The thing I believe the killer used the suitcase to transport is... Well, I would have to say, the body. You hate that you can't text skip till you've read the title. You've read the text. Meh. I mean, this is entirely a story-based game, so I can see it. It is frustrating when you've already read it. I've had several situations where I've skipped over pieces of dialogue, so I'm actually kind of thankful that it exists. Something that would fit inside a suitcase that is also covered in blood. Sounds like a dead body, doesn't it? Ta-da! So this murder could have happened anywhere in the flight. As far as I'm concerned. But in light of this, I'd say that Mr. Hicks was moved into the elevator from someplace else. Which means that the murder was committed in an entirely different location. And stuffed into a very, very gaudy suitcase. So, you're saying that after moving the body into the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase in here and just left it exactly. What is it? Nothing. It's just, I was thinking about what Miss Rhoda said about coming here for something. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. What? Oh, hi. Everyone shut up.
I wanted to give you a bit more time, but I'm afraid I wasn't able to convince the captain. I'm very sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but the captain feels that he has allowed you ample time. He says that he'd appreciate if you could wrap it up here and return to your seat.
I understand his sentiments. However, if I'm not allowed to complete my investigation, the crime scene may become contaminated by the time we land. If I must stop, then I insist I will be allowed to oversee the preservation of the two sites. Under your supervision, of course.
If that's your only condition, then I believe we can accommodate your wishes. I'm here to assist you in any way I can, Mr. Edgeworth.
Bow. Have a setting option like the mobile version of Apollo, Dual Destinies, and Spirit of Justice. I guess it would be nice to have it toggleable if you trusted your instincts enough, being like, don't skip past what I need to. Sounds like fun! We can camp out and watch over everything together. I've found proof that the real crime scene was not in the lounge. And I have enough evidence to prove myself to be innocent of any wrongdoing. And yet, regarding what Miss Meal reminded me about Miss Tenero, I can't allow my investigation to end here. The truth must come to light. To be continued. Alright. I'm gonna go a little bit longer tonight. Just a little bit. But I don't have a whole lot of time. I haven't really eaten anything relatively substantial. Like, I don't know, anything substantial in a little while here. So I'm a little hungry. Alright, we're on the ground. Okay. I'm looking at all these characters here and I'm trying... Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, I see who it is that is making the cameo. I know that once we had landed, I'm supposed to let the local police take over. And thanks to Miss Tenero and Miss Meal, I was able to preserve the crime scene. But I just can't shake it. I wasn't able to talk with Miss Tenero in private. So I'm left wondering just what was she up to? Why did she do what she did? There must be a way for me to continue my investigation. Oh my god, I know that music. I've been expecting you, Miles Edgeworth. I know it's supposed to be a German accent. Can't do German. Franziska! I thought you were still in Germany. I go where I'm needed. And whenever there are criminals to be caught. Her name is Franziska von Karma. The daughter of my mentor, Manfred von Karma. She's, like myself, is a prosecutor. Are you heading up this case? It would be a bit of a relief if you are. Don't you try to flatter me, Miles Edgeworth. I'm placing you under arrest. What? It's quite frustrating, actually. I'd hope to exact my revenge on you in a different venue. But I'll have to take what I can get. I never thought I'd see the day when a disciple of the House of Von Karma would become a criminal. Have you no shame? What? It's all but a big misunderstanding. I didn't kill the victim. A misunderstanding.
I heard all about the murder over the police radio from the captain himself. You waited for the victim on the first floor and then beat him to death.
Francisca, do you honestly believe that I killed a man? Yeah, maybe.
I suppose I should reserve judgment till after I have investigated this for myself. I can put your arrest on hold until then.
That's as it should be.
I don't need a lecture on how to perform my duties from you, of all people. To be perfect in every way, the fulfillment of that creed alone is all I strive for.
Well, I have my own creed, which I must fulfill, so why don't we solve this together?
I have to get going. The crime scene awaits. Don't you dare leave town.
Trust me, I have no intention to.
Detective Gumshoe!
Yes, sir!
Too slow!
No!
Listen up. I'm leaving you in charge of watching this man. Don't mess up. Understand?
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm supposed to guard him?
A simple yes or no, detective.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir. You just leave it to me.
Miles Edgeworth. If you interfere with my investigation, I'll arrest you on the spot. Are we clear? Now then, if you'll excuse me.
Good to see you again, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Boy, am I glad to see you're okay. Thank you, Detective. This is a horrible reunion. And of course, now he probably thinks I killed him. Oh, actually, no. I believe in you, sir. Fine. I believe in you, sir. You can lean on me. I'll get you through this. I have to admit, I'm a bit curious as to what Francisca is up to. Maybe I should ask the good detective. Very well. In that case, I have a few questions for you. Ah, yes, there's some classic music. I don't want to talk to you, but alright. Looking from behind, I think I've seen this man somewhere before. In Soviet Russia, world flag lunchboxes eat you. Squinty face. Found it, lol! Oh, I can feel a wave of creative powers coming on! It's over 9,000 lols! For my next Leap movie, it's gonna be the Steel Samurai Warrior of Neo Tokyo versus the World Samurai Champion of Earth. It's gonna rock source my box sword! So the Steel Samurai is finally getting a movie. Ah, good. What are you doing, you sad man? This man was in first class with me. He was quite shaken up by the whole affair. I did it. I made it the whole flight. I'm not scared of turbulence anymore. He must have been pretty scared. He's repeating the same thing over and over to himself. And something tells me he's not done yet. I can run on the overworld. Ooh, so... Oh, hey, yeah, I can. Neato. Did not know that. The guy who speaks least. Yeah. Oh god, yes. I remember him well. I remember he was a very big scumbag. Lunchland. Not bad. I guess it's gotten big enough to warrant its own branch shops. What should I go with?
I recommend our airport special, World Flag Lunchboxes, only available for a limited time. We have a variety of lunchboxes made up to look like different country flags.
I wonder if they're aiming to take Lunchland to the international market. It would probably work. I can examine outside. What a view of the planes preparing for takeoff. Besides the turbulence, they're really not all that bad as a mode of transportation. Yep. I've flown on an airplane... Okay, if we're gonna count the round trips, which I guess that they would. A total of about 4 times. I don't know. The first time that I flew... Funny enough, the longest time I was just like, oh, whatever. Like, planes are actually a hell of a lot easier to do than, going any other way. Like, actually, you're much better off in that as opposed to going on a road trip. Because on a road trip, you could potentially get hit in traffic, You have a much higher rate of actually getting yourself in any trouble that way. Whereas just flying. and I would be saying all this stuff. But then the first time I actually sat down in an airplane, it's kind of like all of the things finally started to line up, and I'm like, oh god, this is actually happening. Oh god, I'm on a plane. I'm in a giant tube that's about to be in the air, very, very high. But then the second we actually started getting off the ground, it immediately evaporated because I'm like, holy shit, this is so cool. And then it was pretty much fine. Airplanes are easy, man. Like, the only problem is your ears. Lunchland is the Angel Star from 1 through 5. Is it Angel Star? I mean, I knew what Lunchland was. I absolutely did. I guess it's not something that really... Oh god, I wasn't planning on going anywhere. I don't know. I guess the whole Lunchland thing never left a giant impression on me. Not like the creepy nerd in the background. I should try to get some information out of Detective Gumshoe first. I was just about ready to get myself chewed out. Ventar says he personally doesn't have any issues with planes. The biggest deal with planes versus cars. And I'm sure he's probably typing that up right now. So we'll get back to that. Hello, Gumshoe. The initial investigation. So, how's the initial investigation going? We just shipped the body off to the coroner's office. And we're taking statements now, sir. That sounds like Franziska. She was always good at quick responses to a case. I'd say she was, a little too quick, sir. Oh, how so? I rushed on over as soon as I got the word of the affair, sir. But somehow when I got here, Miss Von Karma was already here barking out orders at everyone. It was kind of creepy, as though she knew there'd been a murder or something, and had come in advance to await your flight's arrival. That is sort of odd. Unless she was planning on confronting me anyway, and this was just convenient. She did show up rather quickly and out of the blue. Plus, I still don't know why she's here in America. There must be some backstory to all this. A car, more likely to crash than a plane. But you're more likely to survive a car crash than a plane crash. True. I guess if we're going to look at like the actual wide statistics, I would say there's so many checks and balances when it comes to a plane that the chances of a plane being in a crash landing type of situation is a lot less than if you were to get hit by a car. You know, like, there's drunk drivers all over the freaking place. And people that are on substances. And people that are distracted. Or people that just straight up shouldn't be driving in the first place. You know, like people in their 80s that still swear on their mom. My grandma was like that. Actually, here's a fun little story. My grandma, at a certain point, we needed to take her license away. Because, oh god, we really didn't need her to be driving around anywhere. And then, when we took her license away, she went back and redid the tests to actually get a driver's license. Passed all of them. So, yeah, she was a persistent bird, that one. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess, on top of that, plane, it's just a lot cooler than going in cars. You could look out at a sea of clouds. Oh, alright. So let's talk about Franziska. Miss Von Karma just kinda popped up at the prosecutor's office about a week ago, sir. Something about chasing down leads related to a certain incident. No details? Oh yeah, she went back and did their driving test. Completely. And she passed. And got her license back. She had it for about a month, and then it was taken away again, because... Yeah. Oh, the driving instructor said she could drive. Yes. Apparently she did just well enough. I don't know. I think it's broken too. It's kinda top secret, so she can't talk about it, even with me, sir. Knowing her, the only type of talking she likes to do is with her whip. I'd rather not disclose where I live. You know, just out of privacy's sake. Plus, I doubt the top secret part was what stopped her from talking to you, Detective. Although I wondered if her case had anything to do with mine. Anyway, that's about all the info I have, sir. We should find out more as we investigate. Yes, it is high time to resume my investigation. Starting with talking to the people involved in this case afresh. Alright. Well, let's get as close to the plane as possible without actually getting on the plane. Or wait, we just got on the plane. Never mind. No, I didn't answer the state question just because I'd rather not say. I'd like to keep that private.
So, you must be the captain.
Why, yes I am, and who might you be?
I am the prodigy prosecutor, Franziska von Karma, and I have a few questions for you.
Don't you dare, Captain, getting friendly with another woman. Oh, jeez, is that the only reason why you're allowed on this plane? I'll never forgive you if you do. What are you talking about? I only have eyes for you, my dear Cammy. I wouldn't bet money on our dear Captain to be much of a reputable person. Surely you don't want to ask the Captain some questions, sir. He was in the cockpit the entire time. I highly doubt he would know anything of use. Anyway, I'd like to leave that type of witness to Franziska and her whip. Very well. Poor bastard. Oh, everybody's just hanging out down here. Great. Oh, dear. Now, see here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay.
How long do you intend to hold me? It is impossible for me to be the criminal, I told you.
Mr. LeBlanc.
No, it's you. Tell this man to stop stopping me from going. Time is money. I don't have even a 1 second of wasteful time to spend.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop him because I at first I think you did it, and sometimes I don't think you did it, and then I shift back to thinking you did it, and then I shift to, no, you definitely did it, and then I scratch my head and go, what? Mr. Edgeworth, you have to see the chair. It says, in honor of Rockapale's Day. Oh no, shit. I've opened up Pandora's box, haven't I? And what exactly is the big deal with these Rockapales? They're a seriously sweet Swiss superstar rock band, sir. Oh, makes me want to listen to one of their songs right now. Sorry, I got lost in that forest of S's just now. You want me to explain to you again? You know, Detective, I think I'll have to take a rain check on that, regrettably. Oh, really? Probably nothing to... Okay, fine. Let's have a chat. Oh, wait. Shit. Yep, all done, sir. Okay. I do not concern if you're not done examining the cargo hold. I want my cargo back! What's in your cargo? I assume paintings. If you make a single scratch on my art, you will pay. Art? What sort of art? Mr. LeBlanc is an art dealer, so he's got a bunch of artwork down in the cargo hold, sir. There's practically a mountain of them, large and small. From folk costumes to stone statues, I sell all kinds of art. Folk costumes? Speaking of which, Mr. LeBlanc's hat, Mr. LeBlanc's everything. Kind of looks like that other piece of cloth. Oh. Shit, did not catch that. Good point. Well... Mr. LeBlanc, can you please take a look at this for me? Oh, it's a Borginian cloth. As I suspected, your hat is made of the same material, I suppose? Yes, of course. This fabric is so famous. Orders come from over the seas for more. Okay. Ventar got his permit 3 months ago. Mario doesn't have it. Not ready. Then this is the cargo you were talking about earlier?
But no. My cargo this time is much, many gigantic. You, detective, when can I have my cargo moved?
You can get your cargo back when we're done investigating, pal.
The stubbornness of you police, it is no good. And it is no good that attendant refuses to exit the attendant's room too.
That attendant? I wonder if he's talking about Miss Tenero.
Maybe, I don't know.
Let's see. All I can say is, drive safe. There are some crap drivers out there. Plenty of them. What did you mean by that attendant, Mr. LeBlanc?
She was taken into the attendant's room for her interview. And then they still have not come out. They make no sign of coming out either. I was finished with my own interview much earlier, quicker than hers.
Why is Miss Tenero's interview the only one that's taking up so much time? Well, I mean, there's a lot of questions involved with her.
Miles Edgeworth, you were given free rein to examine the plane, weren't you?
Yes, I was able to obtain the cooperation of the flight attendants. Speaking of attendants, I'd like to speak with Miss Tenero. I wonder if you might grant me permission to enter the flight attendant's room?
Before I do, you still have to clear up a few issues surrounding your own circumstances.
I understand.
You may have tricked those attendants with your sophisticated talking, but you can't pull the wool over my eyes, Miles Edgeworth.
All right, a worthy opponent.
Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. The scene of the crime was here, in the very lounge the body was discovered. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found, the only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth. This unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect.
All right, let's pull this apart. The likeliest suspect, Francisca?
Do you have a problem with that?
No, but it's not like you to use such vague wording. You're usually a bit more absolute.
I'm simply trying to watch out for you. Or is my kindness too hard for you to comprehend?
Thank you, but your leniency is unnecessary, for I will prove my innocence soon enough. If I want to continue my investigation, I'll have to break her line of logic fast.
Very well. And let's see how we do that, shall we?
Actually, real quick, I've been playing for a while. I'ma just save, just so that we are set and ready to go. And it's actually on DS hardware, so it takes forever for the save to happen. There. There we go. Alright, let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. I don't know why I'm pressing this, but sure. Don't you think you're being a bit rash by simply declaring me the culprit?
I like my affairs to be simple and perfect. I'll show you the meaning of both when I finish this whole thing within 3 minutes.
It saved when I got off the plane, didn't it? Meh. I like to save at key points just so I'm not wasting any time. Hey, you say that like you're cooking a pack of instant noodles there.
I won't allow even 3 seconds of useless testimony be uttered in my presence.
I see she hasn't changed a bit. But I won't allow her to send me to prison so easily.
Scene of the crime was here in the very lounge the body was discovered.
So tell me, Francisca, do you know all there is to know about the crime scene?
I know all that I need to know in order to arrest you.
And nothing more?
Are you saying there's more I need to know?
Ooh, fun fact, South Dakota, you can get a driver's license at age 14. Wow. 14, 3 months specifically. That's, I feel like you need to kind of work into your growth spurt before you can drive. But wow. All right. Why'd you whip me, sir? Sorry, Scruffy, my hand must have slipped. It would appear that Francisca doesn't have all the facts of this case yet. Good. That means I have more ammo on her. From the time the victim was seen calling from an attendant until his body was found. What do you mean by seen?
Please stop pretending like you don't know. It's insulting. Obviously, I'm talking about how Mr. Hicks was seen calling for an attendant at 5 a.m. And then, from the time after that, call until the body was found. The only person in this lounge the entire time was you. Whoopity-doo. While it's true that I was in the lounge the whole time, that fact alone does not make me the criminal. Ha. We'll see about that at the conclusion of this investigation. However, there is one thing that even you must admit at this time. This, unmistakably, makes you the likeliest suspect. You know what these games need? Court segments. That kind of defeats the purpose of the investigation portion of it. I mean, if you want court segments, you absolutely need to play the regular Ace Attorney stuff. I don't know. I'll be looking forward to moving to the court segments again once I'm done playing this. And investigations, too. Once I'm done doing those things, it'll be fun to dive into Dual Destinies. Under the circumstances, I suppose I can agree that I am the most likely suspect. But I believe in you, sir. I don't think you did it. Miss Von Karma's gotta believe that too, right? I mean, you two are like simply... Ow! Quiet, Scruffy! Even if we were related by blood, there's no guarantee that he's not a criminal.
Francisca. Oh yes, we just finished our playthrough of Apollo Justice before this one. And yeah, it's fun. And I specifically played it out of order because Apollo Justice had the 3DS remake done. So, hey, now has never been... there's never been a better time to play Apollo Justice. I demand to see some proof that you are not the guilty party. Why did I skip the Oh, wait. Which one did I skip here? Okay, so I did the first, the second, and the third, which is just the regular Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney stuff. Wasn't Apollo Justice the fourth? Oh, why did he skip it? Cool, gotcha. By all means. Alright, the likeliest suspect, huh? What a roundabout euphemism. But it would appear that she doesn't yet know. About the new evidence that we acquired, and where we acquired it. I'll take care of the gaps in her logic, one hole at a time. Alright, so we need to figure out which one of these things was like the brand new... I mean, I suppose the newest evidence would have to be this. And also the suitcase. Alright. Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. The scene of the crime was here, the very lounge the body was discovered. The time the victim was seen, calling an attendant, the body was found. Okay, the likeliest suspect. Well, the scene of the crime was here, in this very lounge the body was discovered. Not necessarily. Gotcha. It would appear that you did not have all the information you needed after all. And what does that mean? I found a nice piece of evidence just before I was forced to stop investigating. A piece that proves that the body was moved from a different location! Dirk. The killer used this suitcase to move the victim's body, meaning that the real scene of the crime is not the lounge at all! Now who's the one rashly jumping to conclusions? Excuse me? All you did was find this piece of cloth inside the suitcase. That doesn't prove the body wasn't moved. It could be the killer simply chose that suitcase as a good place to hide the cloth. I expected you would come to that conclusion. It would seem I can't escape that easy. You should know better than that. Von Karma is perfect in every way. Ah, but did you know that the killer definitely wheeled the suitcase around at some point?
as if there's proof of that.
Where's the proof that this suitcase was moved around? Well, I mean, the proof was in the... Actually, hold on a second. Let me take a look at this picture one real quick. Yes. Absolutely. Along with the footprints, there's actually a trail of blood that looks like some wheels. Well, grape juice, but it looks enough like blood, whatever.
Spilled grape juice in front of the elevator.
Yes, and I'd like to draw your attention to this area here. Where's the evidence of I know what it is. It's these tracks. This mark here. Wouldn't you say that it looks suspiciously like tracks from two wheels?
I suppose.
Further, there's also grape juice residue on the wheels of the suitcase. Wow, how the heck did you figure that out? This means that the suitcase containing the victim's body definitely passed through here.
I suppose this means that the killer did move the victim's body from somewhere else.
I'm glad you've come to your senses. But how are you going to pin it now?
Not so fast! That still doesn't put you in the clear, not by a long shot.
Well, now what?
You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit the turbulence. And then you waited for the victim in the lounge where you beat him to death. Then, while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed in the suitcase, the plane hit that patch of turbulence and out flew the body from within the suitcase. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from. And pretended to be the discoverer of the body.
Oh, boo. You were playing chronological order. That makes sense why you were skipping Apollo Justice. Again, quite literally, I was finishing my run of, I think it was Trials and Tribulations. I was finishing that right around the same time that Apollo Justice was ending. Well, Apollo Justice was coming out for 3DS, rather. So I was like, that works way too well. All right. Not a bad bit of logic for something you thought of on the fly.
Just what are you insinuating?
That I will show you exactly how flawed your logic is. No matter how strong of a face you put on, not even you can hide your fears from me. I'll expose the flaws in her logic in one fell swoop. Alright.
You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before it,
Alright. Did fairly good there. I just save at the beginning of all these. Because why the heck not? Damn Crapcom for not using numbers in the English versions. Did they use numbers in the... Oh, yeah, that's right. They do use numbers in the Japanese editions. I remember seeing pictures of the Japanese logos. Yeah, I remember that. I don't know. It's also funny that the English version, they completely... I don't know. I think a lot of people were probably thrown off by the fact that it was an entirely different attorney. And I wonder if maybe people didn't know it was a part of the main arc of the story. I mean, that's entirely possible, too. All right. And how do you dispose... Suppose I was able to take that piggy bank out of the display case? As I recall, the case was locked. That's easy. If the case was locked, you simply had to hit the glass. Like this! Yup! You shattered my heart of glass! So she wants to talk about the in-flight shop and the Mr. iFly bank, does she? That takes care of how you obtained the murder weapon. Wait a minute. Prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane ever hit. Do I have... I already kind of see what they're hinting at. Do I have a piece of evidence that directly proves that there was no glass on the inside. Taken out of its display case in the in-flight shop after the turbulence. I think that would be it. Yeah. That was a quick one. The fact that you took this piece of evidence into account in your testimony is to be commended. Your legal prowess is certainly something to be feared.
Evidence and logic.
Essential tools that those who would stand in a courtroom must learn to master. But what if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into the mix? A fake? This Mr. iFly piggy bank is just such a fake. It is not the real murder weapon. What? The timing of when the bank was taken from the shop is important. And it was taken after the turbulence had occurred.
But then, what about the blood on the bank? What do you make of that?
I assume it was added after the murder when the killer fabricated this weapon. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did 3 things after the turbulence. After exiting the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase to the shop and left it there. Then the killer proceeded to pick the bank up from off the floor and took it to fabricate a fake murder weapon by hitting the victim on the head. Finally, the victim's wallet was planted on my personage, in my pocket to be precise. Everything was done so that I would be framed for the murder of Mr. Acme Hicks.
You there!
No, officer, ma'am.
Other than the piggy bank, was anything else resembling a murder weapon found?
We didn't find anything in the lounge or in the shop that could be used as one, ma'am. Most of the items that could have been used were broken during the turbulence. And the remaining items all tested negative for any traces of blood. But we have a phone that's missing.
I see. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it appears your stall tactics are at an end.
But it's possible that it's just hidden somewhere, sir.
If the criminal had wanted to hide the weapon in a safer place, I think the weapon would have been hidden in the same place as the body cloth.
Exactly what I was thinking. Because the cloth was hidden inside the suitcase, it signals to me that the killer had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence. Which means that the real murder weapon is either still on the murderer's personage, or is still at the real crime scene. Interesting.
There is one more possibility.
And that would be...
that the piggy bank is in fact the real weapon.
But didn't we just...
Let me finish! The killer took the bank out from the display case before the turbulence by opening the lock on the display case door. And it was at that time that the glass pane in the door was broken. I'd say that's a perfectly reasonable line of reasoning, wouldn't you? Let's see, so that means that the killer had the key to the display case.
I know where you're going with this, shut up. Francisca, the person you're talking about.
Not so fast, I'm not finished. The person I'm talking about also committed another sin. She tricked the captain and granted you permission to conduct your investigation. Yes, it is the sin of lying. Speaking of which, I recall you also wish to speak with her?
Yes.
Very well. Permission granted. But only if I can sit in on your interrogation. Do we understand each other?
Damn it, I am on such a short leash. I have no intention of interrogating her, but you are welcome to accompany me if you so wish.
Miss Tenero is in the flight attendant's room. Let's move.
Oh, yeah, I can actually go into this room. Anything else going on? I assume nothing else is happening in here. Sup, people? This room's very boring in comparison to everything else in this this freaking plane.
So you're the one that poked around inside the plane without the captain's permission?
So much for the professional.
Deviating from the flight's attendant's manual is very unbecoming, you know. What were you hoping to accomplish by doing that?
Miss De Niro,
Mr. Edgeworth, you're here too.
can you please help us and shed some light on why you did what you did? Alright. Good. Probably talk to me. Anything else random in this room before I do? Let me see. What is all this junk inside these boxes? There's no rhyme or reason to any of it.
That's our lost and found, Mr. Edgeworth.
Gold crowns and swords and necklaces. It's like a treasure trove in here, sir. The fact that these were left on the plate implies they were carried on to it to begin with. Something tells me it's time for iFly to send its metal detectors out for repairs. What's this? It's one of those suitcases designed... Oh, hey! Oh, yeah, that's right. Dang. I thought it looked a little bit bright. You can tell it's hardly ever been used by the lack of even a single scratch on it. Well, damn. Anything else? Ooh. Posters about flight safety, I guess. What exactly is this panel for?
Ah, that's the emergency control panel for the elevator. We used it to stop the elevator on the first floor and keep its doors open.
Pretty well. Can anybody have screwed with that in any way? It's pretty easy to tell who sleeps in which bunk just by looking. I am almost certain that the well-kept one up top belongs to Miss De Niro. Yeah, this bottom one is a giant mess.
You sloven, squalid scoundrel of a man! You dare to scrutinize a woman's bed and invade her privacy?
Oh, there are some things in life best kept to yourself, detective. Man, I mean, it's pretty... It's not a hard thing to miss. Alright. Let's figure out what the heck happened here. Why did you lie about receiving the captain's permission like that?
Because I didn't think I would be able to get his permission.
What do you mean?
The captain... he only has ears for Cammy.
Oh, right. Rivalry.
I spoke with the captain a little earlier myself. He definitely seems to be rather taken with Miss Meal. Yes, and on top of that, I had mistakenly accused Mr. Edgeworth of being the killer. I wanted to make amends.
In that case, please allow me to thank you for what you did. Thanks to you, I was able to clear myself of all charges. Not yet. Well, technically, he's cleared of all charges. But there's got to be a guilty party, so get the cuffs.
Really? You were able to prove your innocence? Oh, thank goodness. Miss De Niro, is it? There's one more thing I'd like to ask you. You were in the in-flight shop just before the turbulence, weren't you? Please answer honestly. Yes, I was. And why were you there? Well,
Why the sudden hesitation? Francisca seems to have struck a nerve. Neat. We're gonna need a psych lock.
All I did was go check up on the shop, like I always do. You're saying it was for work, then? Yes, I'm in charge of the shop, so I have to keep an eye on it. I don't have any reason to go there otherwise. After your visit to the shop, you paid a visit to this room, correct? Yes, I came back to freshen up and adjust my makeup. I'm sorry, but there isn't much else to tell.
Miss De Niro claims to have no reason other than duty to go to the shop. But is that all there is to it? Maybe I should ask her about that thing. Yeah. I'm a little curious. She knows about this. Oh, no. Don't know how to answer you. Maybe about... Dalbert? No. Oh, goddammit. Alright, so maybe I don't know what I'm supposed to be asking here. Does she know anything about the missing cell phone? Nope, that's still one giant mystery. Does anybody have the number to that thing? There we go. Jeez. If you could please take a look at this for me, Miss Nero. Oh, that suitcase. Yes, about the suitcase. You are the one who designed it, correct? And I think I figured something else out about it. This suitcase is the reason you went to the shop, isn't it? There's nothing you won't find out eventually, is there? Won't you please tell me more about the suitcase? Yes, I was interested in seeing how the suitcases I had designed were selling. I know that as a service professional, I'm not supposed to care, but I really wanted to know. And I was glad to see it was the last one there. Really? The last one there? That's curious. So you're saying, Mr. Nero, that the suitcase in question was the last one? Yes, they're just so popular. They're practically flying off the shelves. That's not exactly the impression I got. They're 50% off, for God's sakes. The one in the shop is most definitely the last one. Well, we're currently looking at the suitcase. Really? Then I guess we sold all of them. Thank you very much for taking the last one. I didn't say anything about buying it. Then say you'll buy it. I'm sorry, I can't. But why? Because it's a gaudy piece of shit. No, I mean... I think you'll go great with your complexion, Mr. Edgeworth. It really suits you. I guarantee it personally as a service professional. Well, that is... how should I put this? It's hit. Oh my god! Dude! Harsh! What? Maybe that was a bit too direct. Yes! Felter, dude. At least, you know, say what you will about Phoenix, but he usually keeps a lot of that shit inside. Moving on. My issue with the suitcase isn't the design, it's the number of them remaining. Remaining? There were 2 suitcases in the in-flight shop when I investigated it. 2? But that's impossible. I'm sure there was only 1. Looks like a story has generated quite the contradiction. When I left the shop, I'm positive there was only 1 suitcase left. Something is amiss here. What could be the meaning of this inconsistency? Clearly somebody bought a suitcase, but we need to figure out who. By the way, Mr. Nero, what is one of those suitcases doing here? That's... I thought you said there was only 1 left. That one is, it's mine. I've used it for a very long time now. Interesting. She used it for a long time. I think not. Mr. Nero, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't lie to me. Excuse me? I don't believe for even 1 second that you've used this for a very long time. What proves that she hasn't been used? I know. It's the fact there happens to be tags on it. Good thing I investigated that earlier. Tell me, Mr. Nero, is it also your habit to keep the price tag pristine on your suitcase? What is the meaning of this? Why would you lie about a suitcase? Despite having faith in her design sense, the sales numbers made her cry bitter tears. The truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. Mr. Nero, I think I understand. I know what you're trying to hide. Now that this suitcase was originally in the flight attendant's room, the in-flight shop, first class. I don't see why it would be in here or in first class. It must have been in the shop. Seeing as how the price tag is still on the suitcase, one can only assume it was out on the floor for sale in the shop. And the person who brought the suitcase was... probably you. It was you, wasn't it, Mr. Nero? I hate to say this, but the suitcase that's you... the The suitcase that you designed. It hasn't sold very well, has it? It's a matter of pride, eh? You saw how poorly this design that you poured your heart into was selling, and were deeply hurt. That's why you wanted to make it look like it was selling by buying it yourself. Isn't that right?
The reason you went to the shop and came back here was... I'm sorry! All I really have is my job. I was overjoyed when my design was chosen. I thought that maybe I had finally accomplished something.
But the suitcases didn't sell.
It's because of the design, isn't it?
Because it's, as you put it, hideous. I can't say they chose a great place in which to sell them either.
We weren't selling a single one, and they were just sitting there collecting dust. I felt so bad seeing them there, day in, day out. So I decided to buy one for every flight I worked.
You buy one every single time you work a flight?
I see. So in order to keep your resolution, you went and bought one today as well?
Jesus. I don't know how much you make as a stewardess on a plane. It's probably decent money. But that is such a waste. To be fair, it's 50% off now, so
Yes, and here is my receipt for that purchase.
But this receipt is clearly time-stamped at 5:40 a.m. Alright, we got proof.
The truth is, there's still a bunch of them left unsold. They're planning to scrap the remaining ones at the end of the flight.
Mr. Nero, where are these other suitcases?
They should all be down in the cargo hold. Then the suitcase the killer used
could very well have come from the cargo hold.
Mr. Edgeworth, you don't think the killer used one of my suitcases to...
Yes, I do. The killer used one of your beloved suitcases to move the victim's body.
How could they?
Blood's, I don't know. Adding a little bit of shade of red kind of improves the design of it.
Those suitcases were meant to be faithful partners to our passengers on their trips. That's all I ever wished for them to be.
Mr. Nero, is there any other way to get to the cargo hold other than the elevator?
The only other way is just through that door there.
And what about security?
That door has no special lock installed because just to enter this room, you need a special key card that only crew members have access to.
Which means that the culprit is someone who can enter this room, eliminating the passengers and leaving only crew members as potential suspects.
I can't believe it.
Yes, Francisca?
Going on these wild goose chases. You're a disgrace to the Von Karma name.
And what do you mean by that?
The suitcase came from the cargo hold. That fact alone tells the whole story.
Yes, which is why I said the culprit must be a crew member who used their key card.
Miles Edgeworth, you're proposing that the killer rode the elevator from the cargo hold, correct?
Yes, that's the only realistic possibility. Get on with it.
That other attendant, Miss Meal. I asked her earlier and she had this to say.
Francis got information out of Miss Meal?
In order to make the elevator go down to the cargo hold, a different key card is required.
A different one?
Yes, and the only person who holds that particular card is you, Miss Rhoda Tenero, and only you.
Damn it! What? Is this true, Mr. Nero?
Yes, I keep that key card in my locker at all times.
Could you please show us that card right now?
Yes, hold on.
Oh, god damn it.
I don't believe it!
What's wrong?
The key card, it's gone!
Very clever.
Pretending that your card was stolen when in fact you're just trying to hide it from us. You really thought this through.
Wait, it's not like that! You can tell us all about what it's like down at the station. Officer, arrest this woman. Yes, ma'am. Ah, crud. Mr. Edgeworth, I gotta stop this. Do it, Edgemeister. Edgemeister, stop him. No. Crap.
What's wrong? There's disbelief written all over your face. Francisca, I know that you are the lead investigator on this case. However,
Hold it. Don't even think about wasting any more of my time. You know the rules as well as I do. Evidence speaks louder than words. Even if this isn't a courtroom, that basic tenet still applies.
bullcrap.
I intend to investigate the cargo hold now. What will you do, Miles Edgeworth?
I intend to do likewise. Yay, everybody down to the cargo hold. But like I said, I need to go and eat dinner or something. And also, I probably shouldn't, like, sleep anytime soon after that, but I don't know, I've been busy today. So, I think I need to go off and do that. I don't know how much longer this particular mission is, but I don't have a problem with finishing this mission, the next stream, and if we need to, we could start another chapter. But this has been fun. I don't know, the other game, I'm going to be honest, the other game, it was really kind of awkward to try and get myself into the mode of this game. I don't know why. They're very, very similar to just Ace Attorney. It's just got some extra stuff to it. But after having some time to just get to know all of the set pieces, I kind of feel a little more right at home, which is nice. But again, that'll do it for the stream tonight, especially since we've been streaming for 3 hours, and I think we can cap it off from here. So thanks everybody who popped out in the stream to just say hi. I saw quite a few people, like number-wise, just show up and just hang out for a very short period of time. Hey, I appreciate it. If you want to check out this episode after it's done, honestly, I did pretty well, so I kind of think I want to just upload this raw up to the YouTube channel. So I think I'm going to be doing just that. Anyway, I stream on Saturdays, Sundays, and Wednesdays, all of them starting at around 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. It's more games than I'm currently playing. I'm debating on whether or not I want to play Breath of the Wild tomorrow. I'm kind of interested, especially since I need to finally wrap some stuff up. Some other stuff. I'm waiting for Stardew Valley multiplayer to come out, which sometime in spring. They've announced sometime in spring. I'm so giddy. I cannot wait to do that. What other games do I have on the docket? There's this one, of course. Oh, what else? I know I got a couple of other ones. There's this one game in particular that's VR that I kind of wanted to try and do on the stream, but before I do, I need to actually get good at the game. Because, I don't know, it would just be embarrassing to try and play that game. But I've already, I'll just go ahead and say it. I bought Elite Dangerous, and I really want to play that on VR, but Elite Dangerous is a very, very complicated space flight game in VR. I'd like to try it out on the stream one time, but yeah, again, but beforehand, I really need to get my head around flight controls, which I'm not used to. I think that'll do it for pretty much all the stuff I kind of have lined up here. Oh yeah, I'm still editing the that one. I decided to go ahead and just edit down that one VR stream that I did recently. I'm cutting it down to all the base bits, so I don't know when that's going to be uploaded, but it's going to be a cut stream. Just for the sake of cutting out all the technical issues and all the crap that you can expect from a VR title and VR stream. Okay. Right, I'm gonna stop yammering, and I'm going to go cook up a pizza. So, thanks for coming out. See you next time.